Everybody. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. What's going on? Hi. Hi. Okay. How are we? I'm going to put this up higher. See how that is. Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay. I'll just wait here. I'll just talk to myself. Here I am talking to myself. Yep. Mm-hmm. There you guys are. Hi, you guys. I have this, let me see. All right, we're back. We're back. Interrupted performance. Oh my God, Clovis, Fresno, Puerto Rico. I still can't roll my R's. Can barely speak English, let alone another language, right? Yeah, these are my dark ones. This is the good part. I'm looking to see if the air's on. I can barely feel it. Yeah, that doesn't feel good up there. Anyway, it's so hot here. Hi from South Florida. Let's see. I'm telling you, I don't know what happens with this. I'm looking at it, trying to put it on. All right, let's hope. Ontario. Yes, how can we book a reading? Yeah, okay. I don't want to work. Trying to get out of the profession, y'all. Trying to stop doing readings. As you know, that's just me. Like 40 years is enough, right? Unfortunately, I have bills to pay. But, anyway, as I was saying, this hairdo, whatever, is like 3 days old because I have a story about yesterday. I don't even know what yesterday was, but whatever yesterday was, I'm going to look it up astrologically. I have never seen such fuckery. I have never seen such fuckery. Oh my God, in my life. So it was good. What was yesterday's date? The 27th, right? So this is August, and I still have ants. Oh my God, ants everywhere. So I've been spraying. Me and Tallulah have been spraying, hanging out. I know yesterday was fucking ridiculous. But let me tell you, so me and Lou, we went outside while I sprayed for ants in here. Ants. Anyhow, the ants, they took over everything. And let's see, I'm putting this in to see what happened. So I run 14 miles, right? And I'm feeling good, like it's a happy day. I've got 2 classes. I've got pole class. I've got silks class. I'm so excited. It's a whole day of exercise. I personally, I'm like, yes, this is the best day of my life. Because every time, Venus opposition Pluto, well, that explains everything. So I'm thinking it's going to be exercise. I'm going to see my friends. I'm going to do all of that. It's super cool. Anyhow, apparently, so what happened? So I come home from running. I go to get Baby Meadow. Me and John and Baby Meadow, we go to get lunch. And thank you for that. Thank you. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, thank you so much, Christy. Wait. Crystal Devil, Angel Devil. Jeez. Anyway, thank you, Crystal Devil. So we go to pick up Meadow. Now I'm meeting the electrician at the warehouse, right? And he goes, yeah, I'll text you half an hour before. So I was going to go to the warehouse, and then I go, no, let's go feed with little Meadow, right? Let's go have lunch. And she loves soup. So she likes hot soup, right? Oh, DeVille. I'm like, Crystal Devil, it's DeVille. I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. DeVille, yes. Okay, Crystal DeVille. You're not a devil. You're an angel, like I said. Crystal DeVille. I'm Crystal. I know you're a cutie. Yeah, no, DeVille. I saw devil. I go right to devil. You know what this channel is. I'm like, it's a fucking devil. But that's okay. She can do whatever. So we go to get food, and the electrician, who's super great, like He took the whole building apart, and believe me, it was a nightmare. The electricity hadn't been done for 30 years since John moved in there. Anyway, so he puts the lights all across the top. We have like the insulation up there. We have that white roof. We put the white lights up, which I bought black lights, but then I went and replaced them, right? So anyway, we get that. We're in the middle of lunch, and then he calls, so I got to get there. And then I got the wrong light, so I had to go into Glendale. So I dragged Meadow and John with me, and the whole time in the car, I'm going like this. I'm driving, right? So I'm driving from Pacoima to Glendale at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So I'm going like this. I go, hey, Meadow. She's singing in the back seat, right? And her and John are singing back there. I go like this because she loves to mimic. I go, Stella, in the car. She's screaming Stella for like a half an hour on the freeway, and it's hilarious because I'm driving and I have such anxiety because I'm like, oh, the electrician's waiting for me. So I'm like, Stella, and she's doing it, and she's looking in her little mirror at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, Stella. So I get home and I go to Kenna. I'm like, you better watch it because she's going to scream Stella, and this is what I'm doing. And so anyway, we were cracking up laughing. I was almost going to pull up Seinfeld and let her see Elaine do Stella and then see what she did. No, we did it for like an hour in the car, halfway there, halfway back, right? No one gets punished when they commit suicide. It's murder from outside forces, meaning conversation. It's not the person. Human beings don't do that. It's interjected into their thinking. That's different. Anyway, we're doing that. And so we're in the back seat. Now keep in mind, John is almost 80. And for a whole hour, he's listening to me scream, Stella, while I'm driving through afternoon traffic in Los Angeles. I get to the light place in Glendale. I'm like, I need 6 of these, 2 of these, and 1 of those, right? And so the guy, he's just like, he's ready to show me everything. I'm like, we don't have time for that. The guy's waiting. So we get, take that, right? So we get the lights, we run back, and Jose's there. So he puts the lights in. He's such an immaculate electrician. Like, he's so lovely. He made it so I could put cameras up there. I mean, just lovely. 20-foot ceilings. He just really good. Above and beyond, completely professional. His team, lovely. Love him. So nice. He came back. He didn't charge me to put the lights up because I didn't have them ready to begin with, right? So he goes, just call me. This is like 4 months later, and he came back, and I tried to get there to pay him on the way back because I ran. They're really cute. I ran on drop Meadow with Kenna and Jason and throw John out of the car, but he left. So we turned around and came back, and he'd left. And I'm like, wait, I got something for you. And he's like, no. And he just put them up. So it was great. So anyway, the lights are up. So anyway, Johnny, who helped me do the building for the first year, well, clean it out and then do the construction, he's still in the hospital. So me, I am manic. I'm very ADD, and I cannot sit still. That's why I can't. Like on an airplane, they want to kick me off because I'm like, like this. So yeah, as a matter of fact, if we're going to Japan next year with the aerial group, I'm like, let's get the on-flight Wi-Fi, book all 20 seats like this, and I'll stream you live on my podcast while we're flying to Japan. That's what I said. That's what I mean. I'm just like, let me work while I'm doing it. Anyway, I love projects, and I love 6 of them going on at once. So anyway, we go back, and the doors have to be painted, right? So my person who took over for Johnny, and Johnny's still in the hospital. He's going to get out in about a month, he said. He's learning to walk again, and he's doing really good. But it was a huge accident. So it affected every aspect of him. He can eat and swallow, thank God, because I hated that tube in his, I couldn't stand that. That made me so sad. Because Johnny's as hyper as me, and different, but still hyper. But anyway, the new guy that's been helping me put a bathroom in upstairs, so beautiful. John picked the tile, and it was called Thunder, and it was black with white stripes through it, and black grout and black fixtures, and then white, right? And no, it's not Illuminati. It's just really cool, right? Yes, acupuncture, exactly. So it was, do you consider most energy workers psychic? Well, they got to be on some level. I'm assuming, yeah, how they handle it through their body. Absolutely. So anyway, we're in there. So everything is new in the bathroom. Like I literally put everything new, black, everything. Now, listen, I walk in and the guy that's helping me, he said, I'm sending my painter. So they got keys to the warehouse and he goes, they work all night, right? So I fucking walk in and the beautiful floors that Johnny put in, they're wood across the top, right? And on the 2 podcast rooms are wood. So I walk in and he's painting. I look at the fucking floor. Okay. There's nothing down on the floor. This is true. There's nothing. Okay. Nothing on the floor. And there's fucking paint in every corner. I was like, I looked at him and he's just like staring. He doesn't speak any English. And so I had to get out Google Translate and I'm fucking trying to talk to him. John is looking at my face and he turns around and he starts he is on no drop cloth, no nothing. Every piece of fucking floor has paint on it. And we can't even figure out what he was painting, as in there aren't doors where the paint was. There are paintbrushes on the floor. So I go and I buy that rosin tape, not rosin tape, rosin paper, right? Me and Johnny had done the whole building with that, right? I know, John's like, fuck, she's gonna blow. And I go to him, where do you think you're going? And he's like, I'm gonna go down and throw garbage out because it's garbage day, so the dumpster, right? So anyway, I start covering the paper with rosin paper that you do, like protect the fucking floor. It costs like, I can't even tell you, to do the cement and to color it was 10 grand. There's fucking paint all over it. And then there's fucking chips in the cement. And I'm like, oh, anyway, I know. No, it does. It costs that. They have to grind it, sand it. So I saved and did that. It took me a year to do that. The floors upstairs, Johnny and I did together. And that's thousands of dollars. And we did it ourselves. So like the labor part, and Johnny's fantastic. There's nobody like Johnny. He's fantastic. He does everything beautifully. Oh my God, no, I saw red. So I'm like, don't put the painter tape on the cement because it will leave the adhesive on this. Like when you're taping the rosin paper, not that I know this, but Johnny taught me, when you're taping the rosin paper to the floor, you put it up against the edge and then you tape the papers, but not the floor. You only put it on a couple of spots. This motherfucker's doing it. I said it 10 times. I go, oh no, I was like fucking... Then I go upstairs. Now, the bathroom upstairs is my bathroom. No one's going in there. That room's going to be locked. It's my podcast room. This motherfucker has paint all in the bathtub. The faucets are off. My jet black, matte black faucets have paint all over them. I go to wash the towel in the sink to clean it, right? Seriously. So I turned the water on that I used last week, right? It's not whose house. It's my warehouse. It's my work that I've been building out a year. Every penny I make goes into that. Like I'll be left with $90 at the end of this month because I'm paying bills out constantly. The fucking sink is pouring water out the bottom onto the tile that has paint that will need to be regrouted because of the white paint on the black tile. Motherfucker. So I started crying like this because I want to hurt somebody, but I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I want to hurt somebody. So I go, oh my God. No, he doesn't speak English. He's just looking at me like I'm fucking a crazy, stupid, clown-ass white woman, right? This is how I take it. So I'm like, how are you a fucking painter? Where's your drop cloth? So anyway, so we left because I tried to clean paint up and I paid his boss already. So I'm fucked. Anyway, and I don't know what they're going to do now because I changed the locks on the door and no one's called me. So they probably escaping, right? No, I left with John. So this is 11 o'clock at night. John is almost 80. I've had him on the floor scrubbing and taking out garbage, like all the garbage, whatever boxes and this and that. So I've had him doing, there was no check. It was Zelle. So I literally have John doing all this shit. And I'm like, he's so tired. So I put him in the car. Was he a foreigner? Yes. Yes, he was. South of the border. But he was hired by the guy that's legit. who's really good and did the bathroom. No, I felt bad for John. I really thanked him for coming with me because it's like 11 o'clock at night now. So now, no, Zelle. It was Zelle through the bank. There's a transaction number, but it's Zelle. So John spends like an hour taking, we had Johnny's wagon that Johnny left in there, and Johnny left all his tools. So I kept everything that he had, and we were talking about that. I said to Johnny, I'll have your tools when you get out. I put them in storage, and then when we shut down the storage unit, I brought them over. So anyway, no, he was south of the border. I'm serious. So anyway, Johnny's taking like wagon loads of the shit and putting it in the garbage because you got to walk down the driveway. So it's 11 o'clock at night, right? So this guy, and I quote, is sitting in his Mercedes in the driveway. And I'm like, John, I got to fucking leave because I'm going to whoop ass on somebody. And I can't. Like, I feel like I'm going to have a nervous breakdown because I haven't slept since 4 a.m, right? So now it's 11 o'clock at night. I literally, because I spent time with Meadow, Anyway, so I leave and I'm driving and I'm like 5 blocks away and I'm like, no, he's not staying in there. So we drive back. John's like, can we just go home? It'll be okay. You yelled at him enough. I didn't really yell at him, but I kept phoning his boss. And then, my friend Andro, my producer friend, my young friend who helps me with stuff, he's translating in Spanish, but he can't speak Spanish at the same level. So his mom gets involved, and Rita, and she's calling for me at 11 o'clock at night while I'm having a nervous breakdown. They're so nice because I can't fucking speak Spanish or English, really. So anyway, no, he didn't understand. That's why. So we come back. I get there. All the lights are on. The building is so beautiful inside. Like, I see my beautiful floor. I see the walls. I see everything. He's in his Mercedes sitting there. And I go to John, I feel like I want to punch him in the face. So I get my Google Translator and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be mean. I'm talking in English. It talks in Spanish. I go, but you have to go because I took pictures of everything. I said, but I can't handle this, right? I can't handle this. So he leaves and I'm in there and he's grabbing whatever stuff he had that was not drop cloths or paintbrushes. Anyhow, so we close up the thing, right? No, I'll paint it myself. I have to do 2 of the stairs. There's 2 staircases that Johnny built. So I'm doing there's wrought iron black. So I'm painting the end things black and then the stairs metallic silver. I'll do it. I don't mind. I don't care. And then, so my friend's like, well, he said he cleaned up. I'm like, if you count me on my hands and knees for 3 hours. No, I wasn't sucking dick. I was fucking cleaning paint off a floor like a mental patient. Anyway. So it was so funny. So anyway, we drive home. I throw John out of the car at home. And, this morning at like 10 o'clock, he calls me. He's like, was I drunk yesterday? I'm like, no, it was painting. So anyway, I called the door company. Okay, so I replaced the big 20-foot door, the commercial door, the thing that has the chains. I replaced that like one of the first things I did before Christmas, right? Professional painters know better, obviously. He said he was giving, the guy I'm working with said, I was giving someone a try. I'm like, yeah, don't fucking do that on my time. Fucktard. Anyway, I didn't say that. But so the front entrance storefront door is being replaced. So I had called them yesterday and he said, the guy's going to come at 7 a.m. You don't have to be there because they can just pop the frame out because I put a new frame in, a new door, an 8-foot door with no window above it, a little mail slot, and it's like bronzed mirror. So it's like great for Leos. You can walk up and it's like you can see yourself. It's like a big reflective bronzy mirror, like these glasses. It's so fun. Anyway, they call me at 7. I'm on my way out the door to go running to be happy. No, he's probably not going to fix it. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. So they changed the locks on the door. So I'm the only one with the key now. They can't get fucking in. The reason they work at night is because they probably party in there. Anyhow, they don't have insurance to fix their mistakes. No, obviously not. He hired somebody that doesn't, obviously. So it's me. I'll double pay. I don't care. Like, John's like, they painted over. He's like, they painted over the hinges on the door. I fucking saw red. And he's like, no, don't take the doors off. I'm like, the fucking doors are coming off. I go, who paints over hinges? I was like, I can't. I mentally can't. I can't handle this. So anyway, I mean, the floor's going to get wrecked eventually. And if I want to replace the upstairs, I'll fucking replace the upstairs. I'll do it again. You know what I mean? No, it's insane. I was like, I will kill you. But anyway, what was I saying? So the door guys call me at 7 and they're like, hello. I'm like, hello. And they're like, yeah, we're here. You don't have to come. We can pop it out. I said, I'm around the corner. I'll be right there. So I drove there. Beautiful door up. We're just waiting for the side piece of glass. You know those doors you open up in the storefront and then there's like a whole side piece? That had to be ordered. So the old glass is in there and it looks ugly, but the new glass is on the other side. It looks pretty. So we did that, right? I know the hinges that John's like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said that because I didn't even look at the hinges. I was flipped out on the floor. Get a white guy to paint your walls. Yes, no kidding. Well, remember when I put the drywall up, the drywall and the insulation was over $20,000. When I put it up, I walk in and I can see every line in the fucking drywall. And I myself am like, I can't have a photography studio with this shitty ass drywall. Like, it cannot be like that. And you know what this guy said? I'm going to quote. But he was from, I don't know, like Russia, somewhere. Anyway, and he was like, well, you didn't ask for the A job. I said, well, I guess I asked you to do the job to the best of your ability. Hence, bring the electrician in again, because Jose did above and beyond and didn't tell me I had a choice of the A job, the B job, the shitty job. The drywaller and the insulation guy was like, well, you didn't pick the A job. This is shit that's said to my face as a woman who's paying them, okay? Not a man, but me paying them. Yeah, that's the fucking shit that I heard. No, they were from Russia, or it might have been Ukraine. And their workers came in and I was like, are they licensed? Like, and he's like, yeah, they're, because they work under licenses. So like if A has a license and B, yes, I know. That's what John said. Call Jose. I'm telling you, this man was so great. And he's Hispanic and he's fabulous, lovely to work with, a genuine, nice person who does his job always to the best of his ability. I love people like that. So get it in writing. Yeah, no, I got that in writing. Yeah, I had Ukraine guys put in my central area. Yeah, no, it's a whole other thing. I think what they're doing, honestly, because I noticed it at the grocery stores down by where I live, which are Armenian, and I don't really know where that uncovers a lot of different land, but they bring in new people, and I think it's like what they used to say with the Mexican people, they bring them across the border and then they make them work for them, right? Yes, exactly. Make sure they can count on good reviews. Oh, and I threatened to sue the drywall guy. Armenians in Glendale. Yeah, but I mean, they bring them into the stores and then they work for them because they're in the country because it's a turnover and they don't really speak English. That's what's going on, I think. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care where you come from if you can do the job. Anyway, Alfonso fixed the drywall and he was Spanish. So he fixed it and he was good. So it was doable. I should have gone with the first guy who demoed it, also Hispanic. It would have been a little bit more expensive, but I just I'm not going to Home Depot and picking anybody up. They are human trafficking. That's what I think they're doing. I didn't know it at the time, but that's when I'm looking at it because they don't speak English at all. Like, you know, Latin. Yeah, no, it was fine. Anyway, so I woke up this morning, I'm like, okay, so then I call and I get the Wi-Fi set up in there, right? Because the desk came for the front receptionist desk. I got to put that together. So I call the Wi-Fi guy and they're like, we'll be there. I mean, you know, they said they'd be there between 1 and 2. So I'm literally on my way out the door to get the couch with John. And then I get a call and the Wi-Fi guy's there, but it's an hour early. It's so weird. Like everything's so cross-wired. Anyway, he was a nice guy, did the job, put it in. All super good. Done. And the guys that put the door in, professional, fantastic. So that was my day yesterday and today. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I'm like so tired. I had to sleep before I came on here because I was like, I just got home again. No, I'm DY. I'm DY. I pay. I can't put drywall on 20-foot ceilings. You have to put 3 things because the warehouse ceilings are 20 feet. So, yeah, I know. I was just like, fucking Jesus. But because I don't know how to drywall, and you like have to put it. So Alfonso checked it, did it, but you know what they did? You know, when the electrician in the beginning, he cut the light socket frames to put the things in. For some reason, they made the holes bigger. And so when you put the cup in, all of that drywall had to be replaced. Yeah, exactly. So, because the electrician said, what the fuck is this? Why is this way? Oh my God. Anyway, so the warehouse is coming along. The stairs have to be painted. The paint has to be taken off the floor. Tile redone, as in grouted, just regrouted. Bathroom fixtures. I don't want to rip a bathtub out. Like, I don't want them chipping if the bathtub's chipped, I haven't even looked. I will have a nervous fucking breakdown. Like, I'll go crazy because it's so beautifully tiled. And then I can't even talk about them using my toilet. Like, go downstairs. Like, why are you up here? Because they're sleeping up there. That's what they're doing. Dirt everywhere. Anyway, I can't think about it. I can't think about it. So that was my day. That's it. But the warehouse, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I'm like piecemealing everything together. We have freaking plaster walls. Yeah, me and Johnny took all the popcorn off our house in 2016. Me and him, that was so messy, covered in green snot for weeks from that asbestos flying through the house. Yeah, we did it. And me and Johnny put the wood floors in the house too. And then he redid the garage and stuff. So he's a very good friend. I'll miss him helping me because we have fun. Anyway, so there's that. Do you have opening dates yet? Go away, Brightfoot. Note to Brightfoot. This bitch doesn't want to work. I'm doing 6 jobs. But you're right. I am going to have to work, Sloan. I've done everything but electricity. Oh my God. Yeah, electricity. That's good. That's why I had Jose. So good. So good. Loved him. I'm so impressed. You can tell when people are lovely. Brightfoot's laughing. Johnny is fine. Well, he's getting good. I didn't like the popcorn ceilings. We had them in the house we bought. It was built in the 80s, that particular house. And so we took it. Like Johnny is a painter by trade. Like, he taught me how to patch and paint. Like, even John's like, you know more about painting than that fucking guy did. And I'm like, because me and Johnny did it. Johnny would have me tape up the rooms and then like paint over here. And then he would like, look, like I'd do one room, he'd do another. I have wallpaper in my bedroom now, but that me and Johnny put up. But anyway, okay, nice try. Master electrician. I'm not going to say the word you said, but he is doing better. Yeah, he talked to me. He seems, he's like working on moving more. He has to wear like a vest to balance his body because he has that thing down his back, whatever, they fused his back when he broke his back. The poor guy, such a Sagittarius too, and such just whatever. Anyway, he's doing wonderfully. He can eat. He still wants me to bring him hot dogs. I fucking hate hot dogs, so I'm hesitant, but I'm like, I'm going to call his sister and see if it's okay. I keep holding him off. And I did tell him I had to hire someone else to finish the warehouse, but that I would save shit for him to do when he gets out so that he can come in because he did such a beautiful job. So, yeah. I don't know which Lisa it is, but hi. Yeah, no, he's doing better, but he's just no, for real. My dad was a master electrician. No, I know somebody else said masturbator, and I'm like, I'm not repeating that, even though I just did. So Johnny's walking down the hospital. So they take him. He wishes they would do more, but he's got bands on his bed, so he's doing shit with his arms. And he's like, he's so funny. He got so skinny. Okay, he got so skinny that he literally. Was like skinny, like probably my weight, right? And he's like 6'1". So he got so skinny, and so the first thing he says to me is, I'm gaining weight too quickly. I'm like, you need to gain weight, okay? You need to gain weight. You were so skinny because you had a feeding tube. And he's like, no, I don't want to gain it this quick. I need to exercise more. I love that about somebody that they got the same mindset that they love to be physical. So he said, I'm doing sit-ups in bed, but they have to watch him walk, like stand and walk. So I don't found a weight loss secret, right? So they walk him down the, down the hall, the hospital aisles and everything. So yeah, I mean, I know he'll get better because that's who he is. He really is that person, but it's just really hard because I'm sure recover mentally. Yeah. Yeah, no, but he's in a really good frame of mind. Like he's in a good frame of the shit. I don't, me and Lori are like, it's a fucking miracle. And Nancy and Jana, we're all like, it's a miracle. All his female friends that he helps with our construction, he does that. And he's got a whole bunch of girls that he helps, like all the shit that he helps us with. He builds like hair salons and people's backyard gazebos and all kind of like, all of us have something built. Lori's fence, stuff like that. Anyway, and me, every project I do and every time I move and everywhere I go, he helps me with everything. Like even if I need help cleaning the backyard, I'll call him up. I'm like, Johnny, I need help. And the day that Keith died, he came and helped me clean up the backyard and the whole house because the people were coming in, like 40, 50 people, like hordes of people. And the house was just, I just moved out. Anyway, he came and helped me. So yeah, the other workers are making work for Johnny. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait till I talk to him. I'm going to talk to him later on. I talked to him yesterday, and so I'll talk to him again. But oh my God, he's done really well. I can't imagine, like when I first saw him, I started crying. Like I just was like, oh my God. Most people would die from that. I'm telling you. He must just need to see something differently. So it's interesting, bad labor and little. Yes, labor in a little season. Thank you. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, that's it. So Johnny's doing great. Look at the bags. I am so, yes, I will tell him I always tell him you guys ask. He's lovely. I mean, I miss him. Sometimes he pissed me off. Me and him would get into fights though. We get into fucking fights. Look, I'm trying to drink this water. Rude, sorry. But we would get into fights. And then he would call me. He's like, are you mad at me? I'm like, I'm not fucking mad at you. But you pissed me off. Anyway, no, he was good. So, yeah. And him and John are good. And yeah, no, I mean, we get in fights over... Well, I made him rip the stairs. I made him rip the stairs out because he made like a beautiful wood stair, but it was too much room in the warehouse. And I'm like, no, it has to just be a stair. Like it literally just has to be one way. We can't have twisty turn because it takes away from the silks, right? Anyway, so I made him take it down. I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but he took it down. Yeah, anyway, I'm super tired. I'm really tired. You'd be tired too. Yeah, no, Johnny and I, we like the same music, the same stuff. Yeah, I'm like, I can't, because he's like, I made you storage under the stairs. I'm like, no, I don't want storage. These people will hide shit all over, right? Yeah, it does look like two eyes. Oh my God. Oh, it's the two lights. It's the two lights. Oh, that's creepy, huh? My little obsidian guy. I don't know how, whatever. Anyway, Tallulah sits up there. Tallulah sits up there. Okay, did it turn no, I can't even move it with one hand. Yeah, the crystal ball has it. Okay. Yes, I'll definitely do that. And my friend Lori Burns, the Teen Project, she bought the front door that we go through. She donated. I was running out of money and she's like, Sloan, let me help you. She's so lovely. So the door is hers. I'm waiting to post that till the other glass is in, but meaning the right side of the glass. That door is from Lori Burns at the Teen Project. She came and brought me a check so I could purchase the door. I mean, super great. So wonderful. Lovely. She wanted me to have it. She's like, I want you to have this. And I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. And so that is just beautiful. On August 13th, wait. Sloan, where can I purchase obsidian and lepidite? I'm August Leo. Heard crystals are good for Leos. Yeah, I have a house full of them. Purchasing them, you got to look in your area. I have to put mine online, but I can't keep up with everything. Yeah, Lori did beautiful. She's like, I want you to get your door. Because I'm like that fucking old door that John had. And she's like, here, let me give this to you. So yeah, Keith is a good name. It means warrior, like Sloan. So that's anyway. Yes, my Hulk Hogan video's on Patreon. And I actually did it like 2 weeks ago. And then I disappeared into warehouse hell. Andrew put the intro on it and sent it back to me, and I didn't get it up. Free obsidian in the beaches of BC. I know. So great. How do I magically earn a spot to pay for a reading? Do you want me to come kick your ass? Oh, the emails. Okay. When my site got hacked off of the TikTok bitches in, I think it was July 6th, when the people redirected my site to China, I had to crash it, get all of this stuff. We could not put the emails out. So Paul says he's doing that this weekend because we had to get another something plugin to work with it because that plugin got hacked. So, and then I have a firewall and I have protection. And so, yeah, it's just, I don't even know what to say. I can't even tell you. They just come after you. They just fucking come after you. I love Obsidian. Yeah, well, Paul is doing it. This is after his vacation. What are you going to do? If I hire somebody else, they don't know my website and I'm risking them stealing everything. So I just have to wait because I'm a bitch who doesn't know how to do the coding. I do know how to write script, but not coding for that. So that's who I am. So yeah, baby Emmanuel, what is wrong with everybody? Demons running around. Demons. And the kid, look, I'm on Social Security. Yeah, I'm almost there. Aw, cute. Yeah, no, Paul I've worked with since he was 18. He's got 3 kids now and he's a grown-ass man, built his own house. But Paul has been working with me since he's 18. I'm not about to switch him because I know that he's honest. He is honest. He has all my bank stuff. He doesn't touch shit. And I think he's in his 40s now, something like that. So like 20-something years I've been working with Paul. So, he's got 3 kids. I mean, whatever. No one, if people reach out to me, I don't read my emails because it would require more brain work and I can't do it. Yeah, the Catholic school thing is really interesting because if you ask me, and I'm just saying this, I'm just going to say this. If you ask me, a lot of the hormones that we take as people fuck our brains up, especially if they're in utero. So if people's families come from a military, a whatever, wait, I'm trying to get everything up. I have to do 90% of everything myself. And I just don't fucking care to work that hard, truth be told. I just don't. I can't delegate because I can't trust anyone because whatever. I mean, and yeah, tons of people want to sponsor the site. They want me to go to this and that. I don't want to do that because then I have to do what you want me to do. And I never want to do what you want me to do. I only want to do what I want to fucking do. Sorry, true story. I'm not here to kill myself doing this. Yeah, MK Ultra. That's what I'm thinking. Bad Pup 3922. That's what, if you were my mom, I'd help you. Well, if you understood coding, you would, but Oh, and then, hold on, I didn't finish. So last week, because Jason's car got in a car accident by the guy that was 80, driving a Porsche at 60 on the 110 freeway downtown, where it's a dead stop by Chinatown. So Jason's at a dead stop and everybody else is at a dead stop. Like his foot is on the brake and no cars are moving. This guy came around the corner, right, in a Porsche and smashed into my Jason from behind. So rear-ended him, smashed himself up. Yeah, Jason, actually, it did hurt him. Yeah, the old guy looked like Willie Nelson. And I remember Jason called me. He's like, Mommy's bleeding. What should I do? So he called the ambulance. Like Jason wasn't like, he was kind of out of his body a bit when I looked at him. And he's like, I'm calling 911. And so, yeah, he's at the doctor. So he had to get an MRI because the guy hit him going 60 and he was at a dead stop and it pushed his car into the next guy's car and as dominoes work. Anyway, the car was fucking totaled. I have heard of the God Co. I forget what they're called, but yeah, years ago. So anyway, Jason's car was totaled. So last Wednesday, he's alive. He's not dead. Yes. So I've been down that road, and he called me himself. No, it was like Willie Nelson. No, it wasn't Willie Nelson, but Jason was hit pretty fucking hard. The guy was going 60. He came around like Stadium Way onto the 110 and just smashed JC's car. And then Jason's car went into the dude in front of him. And so, hi from Vermont. So anyway, yeah, Jason is very lucky, but it does delay him a bit because his work is very physical. So he hit his head, he blacked out, whatever. And the guy that hit him hit his head and cracked it open and airbags and all that crap, right? So, and the guy in front of Jason's car got fucked up as well. So it wasn't just one, it hit three, kind of. It pushed them, right? So, yeah, no, literally. So last Wednesday, we had the rental car, and let's see, hold on. Worked in those 20 years and had retired from working at the Catholic school. Thank you for that. Yeah, I have an opinion on that, RN Explorer. I'll tell you, 253. Thank you, RN Explorer 253. Remembered. So last Wednesday, me and Jason went to look at a car. You have a Jason too. And so the car didn't work out. And then on Saturday, he calls me. I'm doing computer work with Elijah. Listen, Elijah says to me, he's my computer guy I have all my pictures on a disc. And he's like, Sloan, you need to get an SSD disc because that disc is going to crash. That disc has all of my paperwork on it. And guess what? It fucking crashed within hours of that conversation. I was like, motherfucker. So I don't want to pay like $3,000 to get the information because that's it. Anyway, so me and Elijah are putting all the other stuff on other stuff. Hi, Anthony. So I was busy doing that with him, and Jason's like, Mom, there's another car. And guess where it is? It's by Knott's Berry Farm. I'm like, do you mean it's an hour-and-a-half drive on a Saturday afternoon as everybody's going to Knott's Berry Farm? Is that what you mean? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? So, because he doesn't have a car to go there. So, yeah. So this is exactly what I do. We drive out there. We spent hours at 2 different lots. Anyway, he got a car. No, I'm not saying what kind of car because I'm not going to identify it, but Knott's Berry Farm in Cali. Yeah, it's in Buena Park. Enjoy the freeway drive out there. I was like this. So I'd gone running that morning. I was doing computer work. I just threw shit on. So it's like we didn't get out of the car lot, like, because we went from one to another and back and forth because my kid's like that. So he likes to make a deal and he likes to test drive everything. So we went from there to there. You're going to love this one. So Elijah has my phone plugged in here, right? So the car insurance money, Jason gave it to me. I'm writing the check or putting it out of the deposit. This is so he would save the money the insurance company gave him so he wouldn't spend it, right? So we're doing that. My fucking phone is plugged into my computer at home. So I have my backup phone. So when I go to bring the money over to do it, right? Guess what happens? Yeah, they send a code to the phone that's on my computer here at the house. Yeah. So thank God I brought a check. Anyway, that cleared. Jason got his car and yay. It was 10:15 we drove home. So I didn't get home till like 11:30. And we didn't eat or anything because we had to go do one and we had to go do another and then they close at 9 or 8 or whatever. So yeah, so that's what happened. 97, it still is obnoxious. So I'm not patient at all. He was like, what can I do? Because I start get snarky. I start going, the fuck? Like, just sign the papers. The guy's going, are you the only one that can access these checks? I'm like, actually, they're stolen. They're stolen checks. Like, I start getting sarcastic like that because I can't handle it. I'm too tired. I can't say what kind of car, but it's a nice one. He got a nice one. He got the same car he had before Keith died, before he got in an accident in that car after Keith died. So I figured the car is resetting him back in his life where he can go forward from there. It was the car he had at the time that Keith passed. So, but it's a secondhand car, so it's good. I was really proud of him. It's a safe car. Yeah, it's a really good car. And he looked at it, and it was really like super good. So he was researching. We did everything. Aw, that's so cute. Oh, there you go. And you're adopted too. Yeah, I know. They like to say that's Mark Zuckerberg. That's Keith and Bobby painted it. Be nice, you fucking troll ass bitches. Why would anybody have, they just do that on there. They just do that. Not a troll. I was serious. Well, here, be very serious. That's my fucking son that died. So understand that one of my lovely friends painted it from her interpretation off of, I don't have the card out, off of his funeral card. So the picture that I picked was a picture off my son's phone, one of the last selfies he took, and she painted that picture. And that is, and actually the story, now that you make me say that, so here I go. Yes, baby Emmanuel's parents should go to jail and never get out because they've done this. I don't even know what to say. But here's the story with Bobby. So I did not know Bobby when Keith died. And Keith came to her and said in her head, because she's real psychic, if you paint this picture, send it to my mom, right? Send it to my mom and she'll talk to you. So when I received it, of course, it was Keith. I had to say thank you. And Bobby is instrumental in helping me find the person who ran Keith off the road. She did the entire, she's a professional investigator. It's Blue Moon Investigations. She's really well known and they made a movie about her. I did not know her. She's super psychic. She walked down the street with me on FaceTime. She lives in a different state. She did that with me. She conducted every interview and she found every single person in the picture, and we didn't even know who they were. Like, they were not written in the police report. She researched them, she taped them, she documented it, and she preserved evidence. She sent evidence to my friend Stacy, the detective, who's now retired, no longer. She's out of LAPD and thrilled about it. Now she's just an athlete. So for 5 years, Bobby worked with me. Every time I walked the street, Bobby and her husband Lucas, and Bobby on the phone with me, looking up, doing everything PI, because Keith wanted her to do that. That's what she told me. And she followed it through, found 12 witnesses, interviewed them all, got eyewitness accounts, documented, wrote up the report to put into the court, etc., etc., etc. So I'm eternally grateful. Plus, she sends me beautiful birthday gifts. Oh, I just got it today. I hadn't picked it up in weeks. That's how I came to it. That's why that picture is on the set. And I do not know who sent me this picture of young Keith. That is also off his memorial card. So, I mean, it was COVID. It was in 2020. I made the memorial cards at Staples myself. Like, I was in such shock. I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even know to write a eulogy for my son, okay? I couldn't even fucking think. So Lila stood up with me. And Keith's friends stood up. Like, it was very unorganized funeral. So Kim and Jordan stood up, and George and his mom, Jeannie, stood up, and then all of that. Lila stood up with me. Lila spoke. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't even want to talk. Like, I really don't want to fucking talk. So, and I didn't want to talk. And it had nothing to do with whether I loved anyone or not. I did not want to talk. These are the two pictures. That's why they're there. And so Bobby did that. And I owe her and her family a debt of gratitude. And she painted that. She's only painted 4 paintings. She painted one for Jackie's daughter, Angie, that got murdered. Look. Every night it happens, sorry. Jackie's daughter that got murdered, Angie. She painted that picture. She painted Lucille Ball's granddaughter at per request. And then there's one other person she's painted. So she just picked this up and started doing it. So, I mean, you know, it was there. And she did that herself. Like, that's her interpretation. And when you look at Keith's, the card that you hand out at the funeral, those are the 2 pictures on the card, young and old. So that's what I did. And I don't know who did the young one. They sent it to me and it's been up on my wall ever since. Yeah, she did do Jackie's daughter, and it was beautiful, Angie, and it was a beautiful picture. She hand painted it. Lovely. She works on them. She's beautiful. And Keith told her, and by the way, she wrote, Bobby, it was sometime in September of 2020. She wrote a bunch of shit on my Instagram trying to get my attention. And she wrote everything that we uncovered. I mean, there was a garnet ring involved, ruby or garnet, however she worded it, that actually came up in one of the pictures of one of the people in one of the investigations. We went down a road of investigation that was absolutely incredible. And actually, I told her we should write a book about it, like how it worked, because it was so bizarre. We were in so many different people's lives and their pathways and all of that. Thank you for that. I love when people say that. So it was really a good thing. That's who sent me that. And she said that she had an electric light in her bedroom that looks like a light, like a regular chandelier light that you plug into the wall, and it was unplugged and it turned on. And then she said it hit her head. It was Keith. And that's why she did that. I wasn't even talking to her. I didn't even know her. So that's what she did. Everything she said on point. Her instinct is impeccable psychically. Impeccable. Just impeccable. It's just amazing. So that is why she uncovered everything. And I have the entire story of what happened to my child, down to the point that we are in court. Her name is Bobby Basha. She's Blue Moon Investigations. There's a movie and it's called Murder in the Suburbs. And I think Celia Ward plays Bobby with a really shitty Texan accent, but that's Bobby's character in the movie. So her name is Bobby Basha. Yeah, so she was really good. So we are in court tomorrow, the last court date at 8:30. John and I will be in court to hear what the judge says about Keith, with the lovely lawyer that took our case as a gift and literally is helping us, our entire family, in order to close this case with Keith. And it's in the morning. So that will be the final thing. 5 years and whatever month. So 5 years and a month. It's the 29th on tomorrow. So it will be 5 years and a month that I fought to find out what happened to my child. And you guys, all of you stepped in. And the final court date's tomorrow. So we got to be there at 8:30. That's what we are doing. And so Bobby was instrumental in that. Had she not reached out, see, Keith knows what I'll respond to. Had she not reached out, I wouldn't know. And if I didn't know, I would probably end up killing myself, because it makes me fucking crazy. Yes, I know he's dead anyway, but it makes me crazy not knowing. I have a pretty good, from everybody's conversation, idea of what happened. Plus, I'm just going to say the body cam footage. 5 years from your daughter. Oh, see, you understand, on the 26th. Yeah, to 26th. Keith was July 29th. So it's 5 years in a month. So, Bobby and I have almost similar charts too. She's a Cancer with a Leo rising and a Leo moon and a predominance of 12th house stuff. And I'm a Leo with a Leo rising and a Leo moon with a predominance of Cancer stuff. All in the 12th. So we're very similar in that way. Yeah, it's been that long. And if I phoned her at 2 a.m, she picked up. I'm like, and who tries to do that, right? So I have no idea where Keith is. Where do I feel Keith is? I think this is what I'm going to say. As a person who does the work I do, thank you for the well wishes. As a person who does the work that I do, I almost feel like I shouldn't be doing it, because I don't know what the fuck happens to us, because I don't know where my own child is. So what kind of fraud am I? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it now. I don't feel like doing the work anymore, because I don't know where my child is. I don't believe he passed in 2020, correct? I mean, I know he's there. When I was telling John this the other night, when I did Bunny XO's show, when I walked in her studio, this was a studio in Vegas. I wasn't in Tennessee. I was in the Vegas studio, and we were going to be in Palm Springs so I could go hiking, but that studio didn't turn out. So we went to her Vegas house. Anyway, when I was in the studio, she had 3 cameras set up. And when I walked, set up like this, when I walked in to sit down, I was 10 minutes before her. So she was finishing in another room and I was over there, another part of the house. And I was in the outside where they do the filming. Anyway, the 3 cameras, and I could see Keith in his little camouflage. He wears his camel pants, and I could see him looking at what kind of cameras there were. And it said to me in my head, oh, take note of those cameras, because when you do your podcast, you're going to want to use what she uses, because she always looks so great, right? And people do use different cameras and different ways of doing it. Some use Canon, some use Sony, some use Panasonic. Everybody has a preference. So I wanted to see what she did. And I took note of it, but I couldn't tell you because I could feel Keith in that studio. So when Bunny walks in, okay, when Bunny walks in, she sits down and she's wearing camel pants like Keithy. I mean, a girl version, but camel pants. We do the whole 3 hours podcast. She comes over to me after the cameras are off and she's like, your son here is here. He's looking at the camera. She could see him. I could see him when he walked in, meaning see him, I felt him there. And she picked it up when she walked in. There's no way she could know that I knew that when I walked in because she was not in the room. I wasn't talking to her. And when she comes in and immediately she's like, okay, we're ready to go, Mike. And then she talks after. She doesn't want to talk before, she talks after. So she comes out of hair and makeup and that kind of thing. So that, I mean, that happens. And I know my son is somewhere, but where, I honestly don't know. So I was telling John that story because I'm like, he's like, text Bunny and find out what camera she uses. I'm like, I got to do that because it's out of my head. I can't even pick it out of my head because I totally swung my mind like that. But it was, yeah, I did Bunny XO, was it 2024 April? Yeah, she flew me out in a private jet. She's lovely. Tall. I'm short compared to her. She's tall. Taller than moi. Yes, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Yes, those two bitches. But when people say, do you know where your son is? I do know that he's in a different dimension. Yes. We are all in different dimensions at different times. And one time I could see him I was meditating, trying to connect with him. The first year he died, all I did was meditate to try to go where he was. And I kept switching timelines to see if I could find him and then stop the time and go back. That's actually what I was doing the entire first year that he died. I would like go to my house and start doing that. So I just disappeared, and that's what I dated a guy she dated before Jelly Roll. Oh, that's funny. Ironic. So I tried to jump the timelines and I saw Keith's face come, and it was like, honest to God, like how I envisioned the placenta or a membrane, but clear, like clear plastic. I saw his face and he was trying to come through, and then I lost the connection. So I don't know where that was, but he knew. He was much like, he couldn't, I think, honestly, I'm going to say this, he couldn't contain his big energy in the little space that we're in here. So the space was big because he was massive. And that same week I was doing that, I was in Chicago. I wasn't in Chicago. In my meditation, I was in Chicago and I was walking upstairs. Yeah, Jelly Roll's a really good singer. I was walking upstairs in the meditation or in the vision, however you want to word it. And I was walking upstairs and I was at some restaurant where they had these beautiful windows looking the city, and there was a couple dining, and the girl was a brunette and the guy was like a strawberry blonde guy. It was not Keith, but whatever, 30-something-year-old man, and him and his date were eating, and there was like a clear shower. That's exactly what it was like. And the two were drinking wine and they were looking out the window and they were talking. Couldn't hear what they said, but I was walking in the meditation towards them, and the guy, this is whatever, the guy turned and he's staring right at me, but I know he can't see me. And then I faded out of it. That was around the same time. But again, before Keith died, I see Keith's brother, Jimmy, just like I see you right here. Jimmy's always been able to make his connection like super. I'll catch glimpses of him. It's different with Keith. It's different energy. That's Keith's brother above him, and this will be 30 years. Yes, upside down world. I have. Yes, I have. I'm pretty sure we're in it. I don't think we're as above, so below. That's how they mock us. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Ashley. Yeah. So each people, my dad, when he died, was with me for 20 fucking years. Like, I could just know my dad was there. Keith is like, he has other jobs and he's trusting me to be okay. He's trusting me to be okay with the fact that he has work to do. I kind of feel like that. I feel like my boy has work to do. So I feel like he's a worker bee. Like he's got something to do. Okay. I'm not calling Teresa Caputo. That's stupid. Shut up. Oh my God, no. Anyway, but yeah, it's just interesting. So you never know where people go because there's many different vibrational levels when you tap into energy. But when it's your own child, it's a whole other game. You can talk all this as a medium till you have to bury your own child. And when you have to bury your own fucking child, it's an entirely different thing, right? That's an entirely different thing. So something about you may shut down. I mean, I knew Keith was there. The week after he died, I was standing in my room by myself. There was nobody in the house, and I had 5 boxes of pictures that I'd asked him to bring up from John's house so that I could make Christmas gifts for everybody by putting their baby pictures in their books and they're there and they're this and blah, blah, blah. And I was sobbing. I had not cried much since Keith died because I don't do that, but I was hysterically crying. I was completely by myself and I couldn't contain myself. And he literally banged the box. They're those big Costco boxes of pictures. And I stopped suddenly. I knew it was him. He was standing right beside me and he wanted me to stop crying. I knew that. So, you know, it just depends. That's what I'm saying. As a medium, I don't take it lightly because I will pick up on people, but it's not the way that people say it is. No, if your son's alive and fighting, don't worry about it. You have him here. So enjoy that. You know, just enjoy that. So Keith was run off the road on his motorcycle by a stupid person and her stupid child. Anyway, but nonetheless, you don't necessarily know. I mean, I was given the information that one of my children would pass, and the same with Jimmy. I told Jimmy, like, you're gonna die by Halloween if you don't fucking smarten up, when I had lunch with him. But no one listens. So, and no one does listen. I remember Jason and Keith, I just ran through the living room. I tell this story all the time ad nauseum, but yeah, I was hysterical, but I didn't cry much. I didn't cry around other people. I didn't do that. I was enraged. Like, I was just like, where the fuck is my child? So yeah, yeah, I know it's terrible. Yeah, no one listens to me, least of all the painters, the non-painters. Yeah, nobody listens to anybody really, but yeah, it's a different thing. Yeah, no, I'm dead inside. I don't feel anything. I feel action. I move a lot and I do a lot of things, but yeah, Ashley, you understand. Ashley knows. Ashley caretaked her family and then they passed and she knows. Yeah, I don't cry much. I'm not a crier. I don't put much into crying. I will cry out of rage more than I'll cry out of sadness. Out of sadness, I have to fix something and do something. That's the way that I operate. But I'm not like a crier person. Yeah, no, I know everybody grieves differently. Yes, he did show up on the blanket. Yes, yes, I know who she is. I'm in court tomorrow morning. Yes, I know who the woman is. As I said, Bobby Hell, I absolutely know. The reason I know is because she's all over the body cam footage, wandering around my dead son while I'm not allowed to cross the street, making comments about what I look like and who I am, like a fucking asshole, staring at my dead son, pretending to pray to God. Such a liar. Anyway, I can hear the whole conversations on body cam. You should always watch what you say. If you're a fucking criminal at a scene and you're the one that caused the problem, it's obvious when someone's looking at the body cam footage that it's fucking you that did it. She was asked 5 times to leave her name. She escaped it. That's why the police didn't know it. They just thought she was some rando there. Oh, how weird or what? Yeah. Well, you know how people will stay at a crime scene to see if you know what you know. They didn't know. She never left her name. No one bothered to ask her who. They asked who she was, but she didn't leave her name. Like, what are you going to do? She said, I wasn't involved. Meanwhile, she is the person that was. Or they said, I'm not answering, but they said, and yeah. And so what are you going to do? Like, if a cop says something to me and I say I didn't do it, what's he supposed to haul me off when there's no other evidence on me? Right? So no. And yeah, she's a cunt, but that's what she did. And that's fine. But Bobby helped me find her. And it happened. Yeah, it's being a bitch. You're a bitch when you do that. I understand it could have been an accident, or she was distracted and my son hit the brunt of her fucking negligence and driving, whatever. I get all of that. But all you had to do to satisfy a family who's lost their son is just say, I think I did this, that, and the other, and it was an accident. I wouldn't like her, but why you want to fuck me over for 5 years trying to hide? Like, why you want to do that? Because I'm going to track you down and hunt you down like a fucking dog. Like, I'm going to find out who you are. So that's what I'm going to do. Why would you do that to our family? She's not doing it to our family. She's doing it for herself because she doesn't want to take accountability. I understand there could be accidents. Like, I'm perfectly accepting of that. And I wouldn't have liked that anymore, right? But at least I would know what happened to my child. You cannot, these people whose children are missing and they don't get answers, oh my God, I can't even. I just can't. So a criminal case, yes, it is. It's personal integrity. And she's done it before. They've done it before. It's on their record. So this is the second time of this type of thing. Right? So yeah, I do. I have to. But can you imagine, like, your kid goes missing and you don't know where the fuck they are? You'll be driven insane. I mean, like, it drove me insane. All I did was get up every day and walk those streets and knock on people's door from 6 a.m. I put posters out there. I put flyers out there. I walked the streets like some kind of hoe trying to make a living. You know what I mean? In the wrong neighborhood. But that's what I did. I mean, I just was like, something isn't sitting right with me. And the witness, who the police should have given me his name, but they didn't say, like, he said, please tell the mother what I said. And he drove by my sign, which is the only reason that this person was described to me. Once that witness described a physicality, I knew, because this person, the witness, mentioned that he saw her speaking to police. Of course, she wasn't saying anything of any relevance. She was just sticking around to see if anybody knew it was her, right? Or whatever. And anyway, he told me what I was looking for physically. And then another witness sent me a picture, and that physical description of that person was standing next to Keith's car, which George was driving. And you could just see the hair color, which is the same as my hair color. You could see the hair color. And I knew that she had to be on the body cam footage. That's the only reason I opened a lawsuit. I didn't give a shit about a lawsuit. I wanted to see the camera footage. I knew I would see the description of this person. And then I could draw a conclusion from that. And boy, did I. Boy, did I draw a conclusion. So anyway, oh my God, see? I don't know how, yep, tis miss, I can't say your name. I don't even know what that says. Oh my God. That leaves a hole in your family, not knowing where your sister is and you're in your 30s. I don't even know what to say. I cannot fathom people do not just disappear. No, this is a civil case. So this is a civil case. In order to get a criminal case, there has to be a trial. It's just think of OJ. They couldn't catch him criminally, so they went after him civilly. Criminally, no one knew who she was, so there was no case over here. I had to come at her sideways in a civil matter. That's what I did. It's the only other recourse you have. She has to live with what she did. And I can't imagine your sister. I'm so sorry, your sister's. I don't even know what to say to that. It just is just weird. Do people not have conscience? No, they don't. That's where people make a mistake. Treat others like how you want to be treated is the biggest bullshit line ever. Biggest bullshit line, okay? Thank God for Ryan for reaching out. Then Ryan passed away of a drug overdose. He was coming to meet me, and when I went to call him, I found out that he had passed away. But, I mean, he gave me a vital piece of information, and he was Jason's age, so he'd be 33 right now, Ryan. And I think it was his 28th birthday. He died just after. He was a Taurus, because I looked that up. It said he had a birthday and he died, or he was about to have a birthday and he died. But Ryan described to me, and he correctly repeated, I saw her talking to the police. So I knew she had to be on somebody's body cam fucking footage. in America, land of high crazy, you have to file a lawsuit to get access to body cam footage. When they talk about Freedom of Information Act, that's always so perplexing to me, because you'll see people like Megyn Kelly getting information right away off a newscast, like Freedom of Information. They apply for it, they get it. And it took me 3 years to get the body cam footage, and I had to try 18 times, but I had to do it myself. Like, the lawsuit was filed and I had to file the paperwork myself. And it's just a piece of paper like this. I did it wrong 18 times. Like, I kept going downtown trying to fill it out, and it kept getting rejected. So I just would do it again. Like, I just would walk downtown, go to the 19th floor, hand it to the guy, sit there and go, because they can't tell you how to fill it out. But Stacy sent me redacted copies, and she said to me, you're going to have trouble. The police have trouble trying to get the information from other incidents, like one police over here trying to get body cam footage for something over here for this crime here, which wasn't this crime, and they have trouble. She said she had, so I was prepared for trouble. But it was really interesting, because I don't know how news people get it immediately. Like, why do they have a priority over people who are family members, etc., on a crime to get the footage? So you have access to the body cam footage for 1 year. So from September to September of 2024, September 2023 to September 2024, I had access to that. Well, now I have to prove it in court. So civil case is one thing, which is what we're doing. And then a criminal case is a separate thing. OJ was in a civil case. He couldn't sell or buy or do anything because they could attach his wages. That's what a civil case is. That makes somebody know that you know that you know they know that you know that they did whatever they did. Yeah, she'll be held responsible in civil court. I don't know to what degree. That's what we're going to court for. I have no idea what happened to baby Emmanuel. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I haven't actually looked into that. I can't handle babies that get beaten. It makes me, I don't even, I mean, I knew he was dead. Yes. I mean, that's kind of obvious though. So yeah, anyway, yeah, getting back now, switching the subject. Anyway, that's the story. So when you go for freedom, the FOIA information, I again don't know why the privileged people get it when it's supposed to be a right for everybody. I don't know why it has to be, that way. And what all of that fucking shit is, but it is. But what do you call it? Who was asking me? What were they asking me about before that? Oh, the shooting, which I shouldn't say on here. Anyway, that to me is MK Ultra. That's a weaponized, they call them, like Charles Manson, weaponized human beings. So apparently in one of the writings of this person, they said, don't make me do this. So this is what I was saying. Whoever first came on here in this episode or whatever, came on here the first time and said, what happens when you commit suicide? Here's the thing. You have to understand that there's a thing, I'm just going to call it voice to skull technology, although that's not what it is, because it's other people's intrusive thoughts, other entities' intrusive thoughts, making you do what they want you to do. And when your brain's been fractured, think of Britney Spears, think of Amanda Bynes, think of any puppet. Like, remember when who got in office in 2016? Do you remember Madonna and Kathy Griffin going bananas, like screaming like it meant something to them who the president was? Like, do you think it means something to you? What changes? Nothing changes. One president goes this way, one goes that way. It's just personal opinion. And one does what they think is best, and the other one does what they think is best. Like, it's not going to do anything to you. Your life isn't changing one iota with who's the president. You may pay more for gas. You may have more borders open. You may have more borders closed. You may pay less for gas. They're still going to do what they're going to do, and nothing you do is really going to change. You're still going to go to work. You're probably not going to become a billionaire. You're going to fucking go to your kids' school, deal with your kids' bullshit, take care of your parents, get old yourself, make a decision where you're going to spend the rest of your life, probably not in LA, and that's what you're going to do. And that's it. It's like the government doesn't affect you. Like it doesn't. They may, even if they hold you hostage in a hostage camp, you're still going to live your life and you're just going to whatever. The brain gets, well, Charles Manson was a weaponized human being. His mother was a prostitute and she took up with an army sergeant or somebody in the army. That guy took custody or took access of Charles Manson, and he came out to be Charles Manson. And you could see him when he speaks, he's not stupid. Charles Manson, when Charles Manson talks, he understands exactly what's going on. So you could hear, and I know, I understand what you're saying. He's a manipulative. I had 2 friends that knew Charles Manson in person. My friend Maria, okay? I talk about her often. She's a flamenco dancer, Maria Elena, and her son is a rapper, and her daughter is lovely. They're Jason and Keith's age, okay? So Miguel grew up around Keith, and Jason, and Maria was a psychic, and she was a flamenco dancer, and her parents were famous. Her mother toured. Her dad was a guitarist from Basque, Spain. Anyway, Maria died at 43, and we're the same age. And I've told this story, if you want to hear this story again, which now, yes, distraction, one word. Exactly. If you want to hear this story again, I'll tell you another fucking coincidence. So when I met my John, so I was 21 when we first went out. We're at dinner, and he's talking about his daughter, who is also 21. She was 2 months older. So anyway, we're eating dinner, and he's telling me his daughter his family, both his kids went to private Catholic school. Okay, so both his kids were in Burbank at private Catholic school. And he said that his daughter had this friend, and he said that this fucking girl would drive by, so they had to be about 16, and like come up to the house and put the hose in through the window and turn the water on. So John said one day he waited outside in the bushes, right? And he said he got a brick, and he's like, I'm going to throw it through. This is what he was thinking at the time. She keeps flooding my living room. I'm going to fucking throw it through the back window. So he stayed up, waited. Sure enough, she came by. And when she tried to got out of the car and tried to put the hose in the window, he came out with a brick. It scared the shit out of her, right? So jump to, I think I had Jason and I had Keith. So I was probably 30. I had to get an office to work in as a psychic because we were between 3 houses. So we were in Burbank, we were in Santa Clarita, and we were in Sun Valley. So we were going between 3 houses all over the place, right? I know, John. Well, on our first date, he's describing the look on her face. He goes, yeah, I scared the shit out of her. He goes, I think she was driving like a Volkswagen or something. He goes, she got back in that car and she never came back and flooded because they had wood floors and this bitch is flooding everything. So I rent an office in a building full of other psychics. This was at a bookstore. And you can hear when people are on the phone. And I was on the phone with a plumber, okay? And I was making an appointment, not for anything else. I'm just on the phone with the plumber, something with the dishwasher, whatever. And I was saying, and he's like, oh, so your name is Bella Sloan, right? Oh, your daughter lives in Burbank. Yeah. So the plumber goes, your name's Bella Sloan. And I get so sick of people doing that. I'm like, earth to phone, it's Sloan Bella. I said it so loud that Maria pops into my office. Like I knew her, from there. She goes, are you related to, and she says John's daughter's name. And I'm like, yeah, I married her dad. And she's like, I flooded your house. So from that point on, we spent like 10 Christmases in a row. I made John come to her house. We became really good friends because she was psychic too. So she was a wonderful cook, and we spent every holiday from that point on, like with her. So me and John and her and her kids and my Jason and my Keith. And that's what we did. So that's like karma. Like she's part of my soul family. I just thought of Maria today. It's so funny. I was at the car. I haven't thought of her in years. And anyway, she was lovely. 2020, she's 40. Oh my gosh. See, people just don't go fucking missing, okay? I know. No, it's funny. I met Maria. I love Maria. She was great. Anyway, that's the kind of thing. So now, scooching right back over to weaponized human beings, when you look at somebody like Charles Manson, they are sodomized in childhood in order to fracture. The parents are usually given gratuities. So whether this means and I got to say this, I watched a documentary on John Benet Ramsey, and I listened to people say that it was Burke Ramsey, this whole thing, and it's pissing me off. I'm not saying he's not odd and weird, but the fact that he had body functions and put them on the walls and whatever they said is a direct reflection of sexual abuse in a child's life. Do you know why they do that? My friend told me this. Here's why they do it. Little kids who get sodomized, okay, because that's what men do to baby boys and girls, but we're talking about boys here. It's up that area of their body. So what do? They make it dirty so you don't want to go near it. Do you see what I'm saying? If they make themselves dirty, you won't touch them because you don't want them to be dirty. That is something that I heard directly from my friend, actually 2 different people who worked with little kids who, that's how they responded. So when they say that about Burke Ramsey, I understand him to be a victim of what his sister was a victim of, which came through very clearly to me at the time. So also a programmed family, okay? A programmed family. I feel he was a victim, and now people are saying he did it. He didn't know. And if he was hurting his sister at any point in time, which they say he did something to her and whatever, okay, yeah, that happens. I mean, I don't know how many of you had siblings that fucking tripped you, threw skateboards at you, whipped something across the house at you. Some kids do this, that, and the other. I mean, that shit happens, right? Hold on. Yeah, I did all of Kim Porter's videos. I broke the P. Diddy story psychically from Kim Porter 6 months. I can't prove myself. Who cares? Anyway, I can't even say it again. But when you're looking at people that commit these acts of distraction, so let's call it an act of distraction, and all of our heads turn there, and then what do? We talk about how bad guns are. No, they're not. That's not what's bad. Do you know what's bad? The American food standard is bad. That's what's bad, not a gun. If you're a responsible gun owner, and again, I'm going to say this, whether people like it or not, you cannot have criminals and authority be the only ones that have weapons, because that leaves you vulnerable unless you're, and don't tell me that you're not, you are. They're taking over Malibu and the Palisades right now, and there's nothing those people can do. They've all lost their properties and they can't even get their building permits back, okay? So don't tell me you should like live freely where you don't protect yourself. That's that, and I don't care what you think of it personally. So do I. And I don't think what you think about it personally, and I don't care how bad you think I am. Here's what will not happen. I will never give up my right to bear arms. That's a right in this country. That's what happened in Nazi Germany. They came door to door and took your weapons. Why are you letting some fucking fuck come to your door and do that? What are you doing? Yeah, this is hell on this planet, but don't treat people as you want to be treated, because sometimes you're dealing with people who aren't people. They're demons. Okay, they're demons. They're not people. People don't do that stuff. Those are weaponized people. I feel sorry for the people that commit these crimes and ruin their lives, and I'll tell you why. Because they have no idea what they're doing, because an altar steps in. Look what an altar is. So if you've ever been backstage with certain people and you watch them, you can see entities go in and out of them. I mean, it's not that fucking hard to see. Yeah, walk-ins. So they don't even know. And I'll go back to Jeffrey Dahmer, who said, I don't know why I did that. So somebody that wasn't who he was by essence stepped into him. Do you see what I'm saying? So they step in. And that person does it, or that energy does it. That's not an excuse. You shouldn't have such an open frequency, but when they're MK ultra'd, they are fractured. And when they are fractured, they allow whatever to come in because they don't know any difference. They don't even know who the fuck they are. I have read for clients. I told you I read for a very famous person. We went through 5 personalities in the reading. 5. Okay, 5 distinct. She's an adult woman, very famous, 5 distinct. And one of them was a little girl, okay? One of them was a little girl. She crawled up on me and was cuddling with me. I was like, this is odd. I've watched them do it. I've had grown men at another party do it. A 250-pound man sitting next to me, coming over like this, crying like I don't know who. And I'm not saying anything that fucking profound, okay? Trust me, I'm not doing that. And the first person I was talking about told me the demons were following her and that she didn't know how to stop them. And she associated it with a graveyard. So they probably do graveyard rituals. That's all I could think of. But she knew when she was being taken over. Before Bieber got taken over, I had a family member that was on tour with him. Same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing. Okay. This bedhead. Same thing, okay? Thank you. Yeah, no, it's the same thing. I've read for people that have multiple personalities come out, famous celebrities in both music. Some people are guessing right. I'm not going to deny or whatever, but they are, this is what's going on. I don't know what to say. And if you think it's not going on, then you're wrong. That's it, because it's going on. That is what they do. That's what they do. So when they do that kind of thing, it takes over a physical person's body, and they fight it. No, they fight it. And they see, here's the thing. I kind of liken it to the energy of being an addict, and you fight the heroin and you fight it and you fight it. You quit it for years and then you go back out and use and you die. They want to kill your human frequency because they hate you. And by they, I mean entities. But they need you to exist in frequency because they don't exist if you don't exist. Because as a real human being, you have all the power and control. That's why I'm saying you are not weak. Don't act like a weak. Don't follow what people say. Stand up. Yeah, they use the body as a host. That's what, I mean, Diddy is a demon, okay? And that's what Biggie Smalls called him, was a devil dog. I didn't say that. I mean, I don't even fucking care about these people. He said that to me. He's a devil dog. Called him a dog and a devil dog. And that's what I repeated when I said it, because that's what was said to me. I mean, it's weird. They make, yeah, it's free will. Well, it is free will unless you, now, let's just wait. I agree with you. Yes, you have a free choice. Diddy looks like a demon. He looks like a fucking, he's a bit slow. He looks like he's had some kind of like alcohol fetal syndrome as a kid. And he looks short, and he looks like he'll be bald, and he looks stupid. You know, and all of that. So here's the problem where I feel bad. So you make a deal. Your parents make a deal. You make a deal in another life. Your memory's wiped. You're born into the family again. And now here it goes again. And you maybe don't want to do it. You're going to die in the gang. So they kill them. They kill them off. You will die in the gang. That's it. Yeah, too much. I can't even munching on Auntie. Oh, I can't. That's how you get a man. Men are always attacking women. That bitch is going to be bald, okay? That bitch is going to be bald. You watch. Mr. I have a Tootsie Roll. That's because he's inverted. This is an inverted penis. That is not a normal penis. Somebody in utero put female girly hormones or man hormones. I guess he was a girl, and put man hormones, and he got like a weightlifter's clitoris. If you look at women in sports, they have that kind of body that he is described as having. Obviously, they're not as aggressive as him, and they're totally separate people. I get that. When you listen to the tapes on Harvey Weinstein, they describe him with having a mutilated penis, like surgery, like they couldn't feel it, like a vagina that was cut, right? Right. When you listen to, who's another one that they describe? Jeffrey Epstein had a penis the size of an egg. Isn't that a clitoris? I mean, just think about it for a second. Think about what hormones do when you lift weights, right? So imagine if you're a baby fetus in utero, you're just happily living in the tummy. I'm living in the tummy. Or you're living in the lab. You're living large though. You're the baby. Then they come in with some estrogen. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Because my period fucks me up, right? When I had it. I don't have it now. But imagine you're in utero. So imagine a child that somehow in his whole life is taking the opposite hormones, clashing, too much cocaine too. Yeah, there's that. So imagine like taking hormones. Like, okay, I never went to a doctor when I had my periods, but I had PMDD. Like, I was suicidal during my period. You're not supposed to an egg, see you, dude. I know, right? Get the fuck out of here. You're not supposed to feel that bad on your period. It's supposed to happen and it's supposed to be gentle. They've jacked up everything we eat to the point that when people have their periods, they become psychopathic, okay? Yeah, I had PMDD. I didn't even know how to control it. All I knew was I had a baseball bat in a car and I was coming for you. Like, I mean, 2 days before my period, if you cut me off in traffic, I'm following you home. That was in my 20s. I'm knocking on your door and I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, endometriosis. Yeah, endometriosis is another thing. They do all kinds of things to mess with you. Chain smoking changes your body big time. Yeah, I don't smoke, but I mean, I could start. I don't see why, but yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, North is very tall and very masculine. So Kim is what, 5'2"? I don't know how big Kanye is. Yes, yes, all of this. So imagine if you're a little kid and they're pumping your body full of the opposite hormones of what you are. Like, what man wants to feel female hormones? I'm a female and I don't want to feel them. I got some because I'm in menopause. I had fibroids too. They look like grapefruits. There you go. I have PCOS. There you go. So, and that's a problem too. So yeah, I'm postmenopause. I can't, do you take the menopause medicine? I can't. I ordered it and they talked to me about how it'll preserve me. And I'm like, I'm going to shrivel up. I don't care. I don't want to take it. I just don't want to take it. So I guess I'm shriveled and old and whatever. Chin hairs. I had those in my 30s. But when you look at it, just intellectually ask yourself, if you're a boy, do you want female hormones in you? Or if you're a female, do you want, I mean, look at female athletes. Their bodies are masculine, but not. But there's men that like that because it's like they're with a woman who's a man, if you get what I'm saying. This whole country or this whole world is about inversion. That is, so let's look at this differently. So I hear something. What is it? I heard a chirp out there. Anyway, so look at it this way. Let's say you wonder why people would hurt kids, right? Like, you would never hurt kids. I'm not going to hurt kids. I mean, I'm going to yell at my kid, my Jason, fair game. I'm going to yell. Not my Meadow or Lila, though. I'm not going to yell at them. But ask yourself, why on this planet everybody has such problems? And ask yourself why there are so many people who literally want to harm children. So yeah, Keith, Tallulah's sitting there. I think it's birds chirping. Ask yourself why we have so many people who think it's really just, it isn't a sexual tick. People got sexual ticks. They like chick dicks and tits in a boobs and fucking ball gags in their mouth. I mean, that's all fucked up anyway. They like it this way, they like it that way, but they're all adults. What is the predilection towards children if it's not spiritual in context? What does God want protected? Children. So if you don't play on God's team, how do you offend your Father? You hurt children. You hurt children. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. It's spiritual. It's not like, oh, I mean, some people are. Obviously, there's some people who will do stuff to trees. I mean, and cats and dogs and da-da-da. If I ever catch you with an animal, like, I will fuck you up. Yeah, the kids is because it's evil. Okay? The kids is because it's evil. If you hurt an innocent baby like baby Emmanuel, what kind of fucking demon are you? How bad a temper does that guy have that he hurts a 10-week? Like, what in your fucking life? I'm not saying you want to hear the baby scream. Walk away. It can't follow you. Put the baby in a bassinet. Put the baby in a bassinet. Take the baby in a basket to the fire department. I used to think those people were horrible, but I would rather you drop your baby at the police department or a hospital and walk away. I wouldn't like you, but I would like you because you didn't hurt that baby. What kind of person hurts a 10-week-old or a baby Emmanuel, 7 months? What is that? That's right. That is against God. It is a bird out there. That's what it is, okay? That's what it is. So when that happens, understand that that's a spiritual war and you must defend children at all costs. It is never okay to harm a child. And I mean, you're going to harm them as your parents anyway. You're not, oh, it's not human. That's correct. It's not human. And people don't understand that. They think that some of these people doing that are humans. Human beings don't do that. This planet doesn't just have human beings. There are other people around that are not human. Yes, it's a satanic planet. Yes. Mm-hmm. Aw, thank you, Ashley K. Thank you. I know even animals take care of babies. No, it's not mental illness. It is, don't blame it on mental illness. Brains don't malfunction. They tell us our brains are mentally ill, and it's usually because we're psychic. They tell you, like the way that I respond, people want to put me in a box because I'm so hyper and I'm constantly moving, and they want to call it like manic, even if it is in a good way, or this. It's not manic. This is my body energy. Why do we have to label it negative? It's not that. This is who I am. I can't help it. Everybody else is subdued and eating potato chips on their couch. That's what they're doing. I choose to do this, and that's fine for them. It's not fine for me. So when you look at it, a lot of the mental illnesses are things that, like when you hear and see voices, you're schizophrenic. But are you, or are you psychic? So that they want to call you schizophrenic, so you're afraid to be psychic. See what I'm saying? So please believe who can't harm a child. They do harm children. Yeah, so I did a video on Amy. So it's a spiritual war against children. It is not okay to harm children, period. Everybody knows that. And when you're dealing with two fucking people that hurt he hurt the 10-week-old, and now baby Emmanuel, the 7-week-old, and they're both heroin addicts. So when you consider that, heroin is a frequency that opens you up to another realm. So who's coming in? We do need cake. Who's coming into the physical? Do you see what I'm saying? So understand and never turn the cheek. I'm gonna teach you something. Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. They misquote the Bible, they gaslight us all, and they say, turn the other cheek. When someone says something to you, don't bother with them. If you say something to me, especially in my personal life, probably not on here, I shouldn't, but in my personal life, you will be called out and you will explain yourself. So I'm going to say to you, did you mean to say that? Because you sound like a fucking bitch. And then, because I'm going to take your power that you're trying to take from me and shove my power back in your face. So you know who dominates who, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to attach my energy and pull it into you so that I feel bad about myself, and that's not happening. So you have to remember that. Don't turn the other cheek. If you have someone in your family that is constantly harassing or berating you, you don't have to fight them. You don't even have to be vicious, but you need to say to them, did you mean to say that? Because you sound like a dick when you say that. Like, did you intentionally want to sound like a dick? Do you want to explain yourself? And you need to keep saying it publicly. You do not need to be polite. You do not need to watch their feelings. You do not need to do that. That's a spell they're doing, and that's demonic what they're doing. They're trying to make you feel bad. They're trying to make you feel bad. Don't allow it. Just say, did you really mean to say that? Because you sound like a fucking bitch. I say it anywhere, wherever we are. I don't care who the fuck you are. You mean to talk that way? Are you passive aggressive? Do you want me to fuck you up? You don't have to do that. Yeah, they were both heroin addicts. I think she had the problem and then he became a heroin addict with her. So I don't know if she did something and then he tried to cover it up, or if he did it or they both did it. But um, you can't, and never turn the other cheek. That's what people do. People turn the other cheek. The Catholic Church turns the other cheek while they profit and traffic children in and out of Ireland for God knows how long. And then they act like priests or all this. Don't you get it? These are man-made religions. This is not what God tells you to go to a church. That's about money, profiting, and control of the masses. That's what that is. Missionary work? Why are you telling other people what God to believe in? Who the fuck are you? God put those people on that planet over there, no matter how third world it is. They came through it there. Let them live their life there. Why do you want to tell them how to live? So it's like very interesting. Oh, the third eye is real. I mean, what do you mean? The third eye is real. They try to dumb that down. When they do the sodomy ritual, that comes up because from your third eye, you go to the crown and then there's 7 other chakras above it. So they want to control that, tap it off so they can utilize your physical body. Look at somebody like Britney Spears. Look at the cash cow she is. There's all these people. There's Lou Taylor. There's all of them. They're all right there collecting a paycheck on earth. Why? Why do we look at people like that and go, oh my God, I want to be a billionaire. I want to live in a mansion. I want a Bugatti. I want this. Do you know why? Because you're thinking very one-dimensionally. If you think from your power as a human being connected to source, that's not important. You know that your money will come to protect you. What's important is how you connect with people. And they don't do that. They just think what they collect, and then they make movies and shows because they want your little kids to feel like failures when they can't get there. They want you to think your daughter, who's beautiful on her own right, that if she doesn't look like Kim Kardashian, she's a piece of garbage. They want you to think if you don't look like Marilyn Monroe, you're a piece of garbage. They want you to think if you don't have long hair and you're not out there for the male gaze, you're a piece of garbage, which is exactly why I shave my hair. So I want to be attractive for myself, not for a man. Never wanted it for a man. I want to be attractive for me. Walk-ins are interesting. We talked about that before, but the movie Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty, it is brainwashing. And that Oprah was never attractive. She's not even a nice person. She's a fugly ass, blue eyeshadow wearing fucking bitch who trafficked children. And where did those children go? That's right. But a walk-in, watch the movie Heaven Can Wait. When they accidentally, Warren Beatty's character dies, like he wasn't supposed to die in life, but the angel took him out of his body early. They had to find another body. So another soul died and he took over the latter half of the life. That's why people can say also somebody looks different. There's so many things going on that we don't know about. So many things. Yeah, so the movie Fallen, absolutely. Demons hate us. They like to use our body. Now, this is how you know when someone's possessed. I've seen it. I've seen it with family members. I know. I can see. Okay, I've seen them since I was a little kid. I kicked friends out of my house as a child because I could see the attachments on them. I could see it. Get out of my house. No, I'm not talking to you. I had a demon talk through somebody when I was like 17 that said all of this shit over here. And I watched the person speaking the shit about themselves. And I was like, that's not even fucking you. But, you know, you tell people this and they're like, you got mental problems. No, I don't. The people who have mental problems are the people that drink every day, drug every day, because you don't even understand your own power. So when they fracture a human being, they fracture the connection all the way up the chakra system through the butt area, and they go right in through the spinal column and they attach it. So somebody like Britney Spears can only project her energy this far and they can hold it. When she reincarnates in another lifetime, they can bring the vessel back and they can do it again. They're trapping people. But the people have at some point in time given up their free will, I guess. Or maybe they lied. I watched this movie. I don't know. It might have been, I don't know who the actor is. But anyway, there was a guy in jail and Satan came into the jail. Where else would he be? And this actor didn't like the white guy. And he's like, bro, stop staring at me or whatever. And the Lucifer character says, You want to get out of jail, right? This is because the devil always lies. This is the point. Or the beast system. It's a group of people. It's not like a horned devil, one devil like a Seinfeld devil. But so the guy in jail, right? He wants to get out of jail. So this guy says, "Yeah, you really don't like your lawyer." And the guy's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, you want to rip his heart out through the back of his chest or something like that, right?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." So he goes, "Do you want that to happen?" And the guy listens to it because he's so mad in jail, right? So he says, "Yeah, I'll do whatever you want." And oh, is that what it's called? Yeah. So the guy goes to meet his lawyer. I thought it was a brilliant scene. And the lawyer's like, "Bro, I can get you out." And he goes, "You can get me out?" So now he doesn't hate his lawyer. But what happens? He already made the deal with the devil guy. So the lawyer dies. So now he is stuck in jail and the devil wins. You see? So what did they get people on? They tell you heroin's good. They tell you, oh, alcohol's wonderful. But you can't take herbal medicine. But alcohol is fucking wonderful. Mushrooms, whatever, right? That's what they do. The Adjustment Bureau is about the Akashic records. He keeps trying to be with his girlfriend and they keep going in and messing with his books. The men in black are the Akashic records, the police that protect it because they want to use his vessel as a political thing and he wants to marry the ballerina. But they're not going to let him, so they keep messing with the books. That's about the Akashic or the Akasha records. You can go in and rewrite your books, okay? All of that. I don't think Bohemian Grow's been shut down. I don't think it's been shut down. What kind of men, like fucking George dumbass Bush? Hi, I'm Skull and Bones. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's vote for that guy. How come we only have two choices? Why am I stuck with either fucking fuck? You know, like, what is that about? Drivers are crazy lately. Yeah. And everybody, go over to Spencer. Yeah, study. Well, okay, here's another thing. This is what I was told because I've been around a lot since I was a child of people who are in the beast system, family members, people I was raised with, all of that, okay? So people say, well, why would you hang around that? In order for me to understand what I'm looking at, it is a way for me to learn by being around it. And what I was told is one of God's always stands up against one of theirs. So understand, even if something is dark, as you call it, a person, a place, a thing, you are one of God's. So you counterbalance that energy. There's always duality. So by you standing up in a dark circumstance or with dark people, you counterbalance because you're with God and they're not. See what I'm saying? There you go. God always puts one of his children there. So you'll often find in the midst of all of the beast system that there will be one of God's there so that they know that you know and you know that they know. So it's that. I'm never afraid. I mean, I've eaten dinner with people and I know they're fucking Satanists. I'm eating dinner and I'll be texting John, this is what this fucking is. And he'll be like, okay, like this, this is real texts. Yes, God is always with you. What, you can't live your life on this planet? You're going to avoid all the dark? You can't avoid the dark, especially if you're in LA. But go to Spencer Pratt's channel because he is going after Newsom. And I'm telling you, those fires were deliberate. It was so obvious that they were deliberate. And from my friends, and Estelle Day being one of them, house burnt to the ground. No insurance company would cover it. They have a $3 million cap. They don't pay out. They haven't paid out but $1,000, okay? Oh, that's nice. I own prime property, but I can't rebuild it. It's been handed on down generations through. It costs tens of thousands of dollars to do the prints to remap with a architect for the property, for the city, tens of thousands. You already lost your house. You're already paying a mortgage on a house you don't own and property tax, okay? So if you have like Estelle's house, you're paying a lot of shit every year on property tax. You still have to fucking pay that, right? You still have to pay that, whether your house is there or not. Insurance hasn't paid off. You can't get permits. And they still haven't filled up the San Ynez water thing. What's that about? Like, put some fucking water in it. It's water, assholes. You know, and we pay these people. So Spencer's out there doing it, but everything he says, what I liked what he said most, I just have to say this. I cannot remember what show. I told you guys this. It was a house in Santa Monica, and I think it was Stephanie Pratt, his sister, whatever reality show, and there was a dark-haired guy. So I was on that episode. And she's like, my brother loves crystals. Anyway, and she had some crystals, and can't remember what I said. I can only vaguely tell you, I gotta say maybe 2015, I don't know. Somewhere in there, the hills. Yeah, it was somewhere. I was on some episode of it, one of the episodes. But what I love that Spencer said, the best thing he said, you think I want to be doing this? I want to sell my crystals, drink my coffee. I just love that he's saying that. Because he's like, yeah, you think, and he literally, when his house burnt down, went looking for his crystals. Bro, exactly. And he's a Leo, okay? He is a Leo. So close to reservations again, huh? Yeah, feeding. I mean, he is just like that. And he's exactly right. What the hell is going on that these people make millions, billions of dollars, and they let the city, and they let it burn down? Yes, they let it burn down. It was so obvious to me. And I remember Estelle that night, she sent a picture from her balcony, like, I don't know if it's a balcony, but out there. And she sent the picture, and it looked like the fire was like literally on top of her. And then she's like, I have to run for my life. She had her bags packed, but they already had a fire. It was stopped or whatever. So she didn't put all of her stuff back by the front door. She literally ran for her life. She literally ran for her life. That is unacceptable. The fire trucks never showed up. Hold on. Okay, I don't know. Heidi is gorgeous. Yeah, Heidi's beautiful. I don't understand why they wouldn't have the fire department out there. What is that noise? Yeah, so of course Newsom wants their property. He's selling it to Chinese developers. And the developers are going, she ran for her life. I literally have the video of her running down the driveway. She snapped a picture and they took off. That's it. Her purse, not even the clothes on her back, which were workout clothes. I mean, she literally didn't have toothbrush. She didn't have any of that. Like, I sent her a package the next day, as all her friends sent whatever they could for her to have a package. And I'm sure she went and got stuff, but everybody was buying stuff. And how do you replace every single thing that you have and own, right? I'm telling you that. That's the thing. So they burn it. The Chinese developers went to the people and said, do you want us to buy your property at top dollar? So the people sold, because they're never going to get fucking licensing to build it back. And they don't want to spend if you're 70 years old, do you want to spend the next 20 years of your life? Do you want to do that? Dealing with the city of Los Angeles or any affiliate of? Fuck no. Okay, they're just the dumbest people they're dumb as bricks. Yeah, no, Newsom has always been this way. I'm telling you, here's the thing with the homeless. I'm telling you this. They're all on my street. There are 15 trailers by my granddaughter's house on the street next to a bus stop where kids wait to go to school. That is not okay. Nobody can walk on that street. Nobody can park there. It's a residential area. Nobody can do that, because if you have a kid, do you want fucking crazy crackhead in the trailer pulling his pants down, walking on the sidewalk? Because that's what they do, okay? At 11 o'clock last night, or 10 o'clock last night, I'm at Home Depot, John and I, and one of the girls from one of the Dollar King stores that we used to go to, she's like, hey, flashback of my life when I was at the Dollar King. And she literally said to me, it was fucking crazy. And she goes, I'd have people walk in the store with their pants around their ankles. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? What are you fucking doing? What are you doing? It's all over the street. But here's the real scoop, okay? The cartels, or the gangs, or the government, I don't know which, whoever, the homeless go out there. We're being taught to accept this. It's not acceptable. So what they're doing is they're putting tents everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Like, I go down the street, there are tents everywhere. All right? Everywhere. I just don't know. Go to the North Hollywood bus station. There are tents everywhere. All right. These people have BMWs and Mercedes and Bugattis and Maseratis pulling up, people getting out. We'll call them pimps, drug lords, gangbangers, whatever. They collect the money. They literally, I think I talked about this the other day, or who was I talking about this to? They literally run, no, it's true. They're selling drugs out of those tents. I know that for a fact. I know people who purchase their drugs out of those tents. That's why I'm telling you that. That's why I'm being told they are everywhere. The who's in charge of this, it trickles down. It's like a shirt going from $400 down to a bargain basement brand like $10 or whatever. It was 400, but it triples down through 6 different departments. They are given drugs. People go in and out of those tents all day long. Who's going to go check there? Not me, because I don't fucking want to know what's in there. So people buy and sell drugs. Then comes a nice car around. Then a nice car collects the cash from those drugs and gives them their drugs, right? And they get more drugs to sell. That's a high level business. It's being run from your Scarfaces all the way down to your tents on the side of the street. No one's doing shit. Not to mention, in my neighborhood grocery store, okay? I want a joint now. In our neighborhood grocery store, really, for real, okay? It's one of the local ones, not a major name. They have cars parked in the parking lot with pimps, and on the side of the road too, okay? In this particular neighborhood, cars. And you will see a girl walking up and down the street. Lou, you will see a girl walking up and down the street, and suddenly she's in a car. A guy will pull up, get out of his car, they go into a third car, and then there's a guy in a nice car. She gets into that car, then gets out, and she walks in her grubby ass clothes again. This is what's happening on every fucking street corner. Not joking. My friend Pamela used to call the cops on them all the time. She used to go out at night, this car, this car, this car. They don't care. They're selling drugs. LA is a complete, do you remember the movie Escape from New York? That's what we are, but we're in LA. It is a complete, I mean, I'm literally driving to go to Starbucks this afternoon and then to go to the post office, and I'm going up the street, tent, guy in a tent. Guy crossing the street with a shopping cart yelling at me because I have the left lane to turn, and he decided to step out in traffic, and I should fucking wait for him. Well, I have to because I'm not going to hit him, but what I'm saying is that's what's going on. And it's trickled down. They're run by groups of gangs, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, they do it in the bathrooms. They do it everywhere. That's why they want you addicted. If you're addicted, they can keep you in a state of disrespect for your human body. It is true, your body is the temple, and they can keep you in a state of disrespect. And when you're in a state of disrespect, your energy is weakened. Your energy can get siphoned. You will do more harm to yourself, and they can travel with you. And that's what they want. Somebody asked how you recognize a demon. You can see the face and the energy. It's in the eyes, and it will take a shape. I see like warthogs. I've seen pig faces. I've seen birds. I've seen straight out faces come out at me like this, like in a movie, like Ghostbusters. I've seen that. You can see in the eyes. Yeah, you can see a lot of things. You can feel the energy. And sometimes they mask themselves. If you have a demonic entity with this person, they'll hang behind this person so that you think that they are like that person and you don't question it. I've seen this since I was a little kid. Have you seen no, I haven't seen that movie. Devil's Advocate. Oh, that's such a good movie. That is so apropos and on point. See how he gets the wife, like, you're going to want to do this and that, and she starts to fall for it. They make her feel weak. They make her feel like she's not good enough, and then they want him to fall for it, so they put adultery in there. No, it's such a good movie. I'm not saying you shouldn't fuck around on your husband or your wife. You can do whatever you want. What I'm saying to you is there is always a consequence for your actions on an energetic level, so you better be, that's so good, Sagittarius goddess. Me neither. But yeah, they want you in some kind of nefarious action, porn. They got kids on porn. They got that girl. I listened to that girl. Hi, Lou. Was that you? Lily, the one that slept with all the men. the British chick. Do you know what I mean? Lily something, 1,000 men in a 24-hour period or whatever. She keeps saying that her parents were good. They were good parents. And I'm like, you are in denial. And she's like, I first watched porn when I was 11. And I'm like, that's about right. And you became oversensitized. Now, who introduced you to porn? Were you introduced by a relative? Were you introduced by this? Were you introduced by that? And what are they grooming you for? So that as a female, you think your only value is in spreading your fucking legs. And I can tell you, as a woman my age, that is the least of your values. Your true value is in your creative energy and what you can do to bring your children into the world. And if you don't have children, what you can do to foster and create beautiful energy, which is so elevated. But they want you to feel like you're just a fucking body. And if you're 20 pounds overweight, or you lose your hair, or you go through menopause, therefore you don't have periods anymore, be thankful, because I'd be in jail. But anyway, if you don't have that, you're not relevant. And people see you that way. But I move through society differently now, and it's great. I don't have men looking at me. I mean, okay, drunk homeless people, because I'm in that neighborhood, but drugged homeless weird people. But what I'm saying is I'm able to do that. I don't even take the relation aspect anywhere. I'm able to create what I need to do, which at this point I feel is healing. I feel like the warehouse needs to get open to help people heal. I feel we have to heal. We have to understand we are not defined by our relationship, by our children. We have to heal the trauma so that we can actually be with somebody if we want. I don't want, I repeat that. Or we can be with our children, right? And we can foster in a positive direction and raise the next generation up. They have women thinking, they have women in their 60s and 70s and 80s thinking that they need a partner. They have so much more to offer than just a partnership to a man who, the second you die, will be fucking someone younger that he was fucking behind your back anyway, just saying. Or he'll rob you, or he'll take money from your children that you leave in, whatever. They do stupid shit like that, okay? So it's really about healing, and you're powerful. But they want you to think a one-on-one relation. They got us all brainwashed. You need to get married and have kids. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is understand your creative energy. Women are the most creative. So we create. We can have children. We are incredibly creative. They don't want you to know that. So do you heal your karma through your children, or can you just heal? No, you can. Yeah, you can heal it without children. Oh my God, no. If you have children, you have karma with your children. That's what I meant by that. You're going to have generational karma. And in order to free your soul from this cycle, I really believe this at this point in life, because I just look at the shit that I was taught growing up, and I'm like, who cares if I'm polite? I mean, it's nice, but who cares? Like, am I a good person? And is politeness, whatever. But you have to understand, you come here because somehow you've been pulled down here, and it's such a low vibration. You want to help other people. You can help other people. You can love animals. You can love children. You can go to your job and you can be there. Then you can be there to help someone at your job. And I'm going to tell a Keith story now. So I was obviously had people at Keith's memorial and service who worked with my son. And there's two really weird stories there. But anyway, I had a woman who worked there, and she came up to me with her husband, and she said, it was the day after Keith died, and she so much talked to me about how Keith told her, I guess she had like 3 kids, they were probably teenagers at the time. She told me how much Keith told her about diet and exercise and how she could get her body strong. And she looked like a lady, her and her husband looked like they'd been through some stuff, you know, a lot of tattoos and stuff like that. And that they may have had a hard time at one time, but that they were nice people. And she worked with Keith, and she said, he taught me how to like be in line to be a better person. And I got a hot flash now. Anyway, she talked about that. And the weird thing is the day that Keith died, so the 29th, on the 30th, Jason was driving to Kenna's house. And on the street there, he literally got on the phone with me. Kenna got out, Lila got out, and he parked the car. And right in front of him, there was a guy on a bike that got hit by a car and died on the street right in front of him. He said, we stepped out of the car and we watched this guy get hit by a car. Somebody rear-ended him on a bike. He died on the corner of that street right there in front of Jason and Kenna. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon. Jason stood, he literally called me and told me this. That co-worker of Keith's, that was her brother that died on that corner, okay? So the next day, she was in the position I was in. No, seriously, it was boom, boom. That was one story. And then a lady gave Keith, they donated money to St. Jude's in Keith's name, his work. And the lady that donated, this is a true story. She's a blonde lady, about my age. She came up and she's like, this is for your son. We got, you know, a donation to, no, that's true. That's true. His name was Ralph. And that's actually true. And the girl that hit him was in an SUV. She was smoking a cigarette and driving in the bike lane. And he was literally on a bike. And she rear-ended him and the police let her go. And I don't think his sister or mother ever recovered from that, siblings and people in the family. I mean, he was in his 30s and he was riding a bike. She fucking rear-ended him. And Jason and Kenna, not Lila, because she'd run into the house, but it was 2 doors down from where Kenna lives, like literally lived growing up. Anyway, at the memorial, when they gave the plaque for Keith, that they donated the money to the hospital in Keith's name, the lady that talked to me was a story that John had told me growing up. She did not realize that Keith Bella was her classmate's brother, I guess because of the huge age difference. She had gone to school with John's daughter. This is a true story. And she was working with Keith and she really liked him. And her brother, this is a story John told me. I remember, I know her name. I'd never met her like when I first went out with John, but I met her when Keith died. And she goes, I did not know that. She saw John's daughter at the funeral and she was like, holy shit. She did not know that they were connected. Her brother had been murdered when they were teenagers. He had been delivering pizza and 2 gangbangers, weirdos, brought him in the house to get the money and then killed him for some fucking reason. So she had gone through that. So it's seriously, and that was in Burbank back in the day. And I wasn't around for that. I was in Canada at that time. They would have been teenagers. So it's very interesting how people's lives are so interconnected. And she had no idea that Keith was her friend's brother, obviously, because, you know, there's a 29-year age difference between her and Keith, right? I was 29 when I had Keith. So it was, yes, Bonnie Blue. So yeah, no, it was very interesting. But that girl, Jessica, oh, I said her name. Anyway, she was so nice to tell me what my son had done for her. And I always pray for her. I always pray for her because she had to lose her brother right after. So it's the same time every year. I've lost track of her now. But anyway, it was just very, killed for probably less than $100. It would have been sometime in the 80s, I'm assuming, because she would have been like a teenager. What a horrible thing. Like, did her family ever get over that? I doubt it. But she came up. Yeah, no, I know, it's really weird. She came to the side of the street where Keith got hit. And so these people really liked Keith. And it was really nice. And what I'm saying to you is he didn't have a family. He wasn't married. He wasn't in any cycle like that. But he tried to help people. And, you know, he just did. He just did. You can do that. You don't have to be anything that they tell you in this world. You are to somebody in your life, number one, and that's really all that matters. And you can help people just and raise them, and that's your purpose, and it's as valuable as a doctor or anybody else. You don't know how you're going to help somebody and affect somebody because you think you're not important because you didn't do something they tell you to do on TV, like these idiot Kardashians, who it's a setup. It's handed to them and they will never get all the money. When they tell you it's a billionaire, okay, when they tell you they're billionaires, they will take the money from you. You will never get it. You will die, your kids will die, your grandkids will die. If you're in the system, you are not getting the money back fully. Again, Warren Buffett says he's giving it to charity. Now, who owns the charity? The people that pretended to give him the money, okay? Yes, he has more money than you. Yes, they travel around, but they're coming back for their money and it's not going down your pipeline. That's why they say the Kennedys are on a trust fund, because that's all they get. No more, no less. and stop idolizing the Kennedys. But anyway, that's, yeah, no, they're obsessed with money because how do I want to word this? They are vampires of energy, and they recycle, and they cannot get out of this dimension. They cannot connect to source. They step away from source. So when you step away from source, you have to focus on money. You have to focus on immortality, because once you die, where the fuck are you going? Where are you? Yes, they're witches. Oh, yeah. Of course they are. But why do they have to be bad witches? See what I'm saying? Why do we have to follow them? We as a people, and I wish yes, stop idolizing them. I wish people, no soul growth, exactly. I honestly wish people would teach this, like my granddaughters, my Meadow, my Rascal. Meadow's too young now, but and they mimic everything they see on TV. Stop with the Disney princesses, whatever that's about. Stop with that. No one's coming to save your life. That's crap. And it makes women think a guy can save them. Why would you think that? 9 out of 10 times you're going to save your husband. You're bringing your husband children. You're feeding the family. You're creating ideas, and you're giving your husband space with which he can make money while you stay home and raise his kids, or while you help him and pick his dry cleaning up, help him talk to his mother, buy his gifts. You're doing for your husband, hardly the other way around. Not always, okay? Sometimes different. But the Disney prince thing, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? It's not going to happen. Thank you, Ashley. That's a lovely thing to say. Yeah, they want you to do it. Well, we should be teaching our young girls, and I have the same problem. I didn't like the way I looked either, and I'm sure 9 out of 10, unless your husband is a Marine, exactly. 9 out of 10 of us hate what we look like in the mirror. We have an energy and a frequency that's actually more pleasant and better looking. Do you see who are those two fucking people on 90 Day Fiance? Who are those twins with those fucking lips and eyelashes? Who are those fucking people? Why do they look like that? They were not born that way. Why is that a thing? I'm pretty hot. I'm pretty hot. Who are those people? Who are they? Somebody tell me who they are. Is it Darcy and her sister Stacy? Yes. On what planet is that a look? Why do you look like that? What is that? No, I need to know what that is. And then they film videos eating. Are you crazy? All I hear is Chipotle. I see these things and they're like Chipotle. I'm like, stop with that. See, there's a reason that they're eating. Thank you. Thank you so much. There's a reason they're eating. The boy in Alabama who was beaten to death by the schools. No. I'll have to look that up. I write that down. No, I haven't actually heard about that. But who are those people? No, but why do they have dysmorphia? Because every time you turn on the TV, you're told that you're not good enough. Well, I am good enough. I've seen some of those people in person. I don't put shit in my face. I'm not drunk and high and smoking crack, so I don't have to put shit in my face. And this is what a person looks like at my age. This is what you fucking look like. So we got to start letting ourselves be, which is very hard in this society. I know, why are they eating Chipotle? I'm like, what is going on? I can't. I just can't. I see her face. I'm like, oh my God. How can that guy marry her? Please let that guy marry, please let that guy, free that guy. Yeah, his parent, they are literally getting plastic surgery. But who's doing it? Why is that okay? Like, where is your moral compass? Do you know what that is? When they do that enough and people look like that enough, you don't know, like Michael Jackson. Yeah, I'm 60 and no fillers, and I've never had Botox. So I've not had any of that, I swear. I don't, well, you can tell. I mean, you can see. See? I just showed you my wrinkles. I haven't had none of that. I mean, look. My face is too much like, yeah, I can't. I can't. I don't like needles in my face. I mean, if you're knocking me out for surgery, like if I have to do that, no, I don't take collagen. I don't take anything. I I have phobias about people poisoning me. So if I put Botox in my face, I'd fucking die because I'd be thinking that it was poison because it is. Now, I would do this. This I don't like. So I will do that and this. I can see these, whatever. Yeah, I eat healthy and I exercise. I tell people to fuck off. It's the best thing. And I get enough Botox for us all. Everybody I know gets Botox in their 20s. I'm like, what are you doing? 20-year-olds are so lovely that you need to tell your daughters that there is nothing that is a substitute for youth. Even if you're ugly, you think when you're young, I don't use fluoride either. Even if you're like ugly when you're young, you think, or you don't come from what the classic beauty standard is, I promise you, you are gorgeous. You are gorgeous. Like when you're youth, it shows. It's not so much like your body, it's energy. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And so they've got 20-year-olds. They're putting, aw, your mom is 59, Jenny. That's so cute. You've got people filling up 20 and 30-year-olds' faces. Why would you do that? Why is that okay? Like, what are you doing? And what is with all the nose jobs in Turkey? And they all come back like this. What is that? You know what I can tell when they do the nose jobs? These things. Your nostril holes, they're crooked. Yeah, youth is wasted on the young. No, they go there and they have these like nose jobs and they're like, look, it's great. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? No, but you can tell a nose job. They're out like, I have a pretty good nose, but I've been knocked and bumped. So I'm not, and I pierced it. That's how I solved the problem. When every time I saw a dent, I put a piercing in it. I don't recommend it for everybody, but that's what I did. What is that nose? And here's the thing with the nose jobs. I can always tell when you're older. I can always see it here because there's something about it here that doesn't connect this line. So I don't know what it is. Yeah, the clone thing. When you have a lot of... they went to Turkey. Don't go to Turkey. Please don't go to Turkey. Please don't do that. Don't go to Turkey. Don't do that to yourself. I know you. That's why I'm not getting a facelift yet. But I know we'll never get cheek implants. No, you can't duplicate God's. You can't duplicate God's work. You can fix stuff. Like I love the weight loss surgeries when people lost like 300 pounds and they pick the skin up. I love that. Okay, I love that for them. I think that that's so wonderful, right? That you can remove their skin once they get that under control. I love it for them. And I think facelifts are great at a certain point, but I don't think at 30 or 40 you need it. And I think you have to do it. And so like wait till you maybe need to do it. 65 maybe. And if you look fine at 65 and you're okay with it, don't do it. I'm pretty sure I'll do one day, but I'm not doing it right now. So yes, the surgery. Yeah, no, I don't even think that that's what Kris Jenner did. I don't know that that's her. Waylon and Madame Darcy remind me of Puppet Madame. Oh my God. Those fucking glasses with those eyelashes in that face. I want to hit her in the face for no other reason than she's offensive to look at. Yeah, here's my neck. Same. Oh, that looks good. Hi. Okay, anyway. What do you think about, I wouldn't take, I mean, I can tell a lot of my friends are on the weight loss shots. Nobody I talk about on here, former friends, because they're so skinny now. And I know a couple that admitted it. I guess, you know, back in my day, we took fen-phen. So I suspect if you want to lose weight, let's see, I need a 60, me too. The younger female celebs all look, I know, I want to actually, I love it when I see like my family. Your nose is your family connection. Like they tell you it's not good, but I you know, it's funny because John had a big nose, has a big nose, and it's so like on spot with his family. But when I first met him, and I remember I woke up and I was looking at his nose and I'm like, can I handle this nose? I'm like, yeah, I can handle it. But it's his whole character. And then I see different versions of his mom's nose. And like Keith had a bit of grandma's nose on his nose. And Jason has my nose with a little bit of like John's nose, but it's in combinations. And then Meadows got Jason's nose and a little bit of Kenna's nose. It's so interesting. I see it much differently now. I see it like much differently as a grown up. When I'm younger, no, that went through my head because I never dated anybody with features quite, and he was a very good looking man, so it wasn't that. They were just different features than I was used to. I loved Fen Fen. Let's go do some laundry at the laundromat. Hello, meth head. Hello, meth head. Now you know why the meth heads take the bicycles apart, right? Oh God. Me doing laundry, cleaning the house. Here, let me get the toothbrush in the corner on the ceiling quick. Oh, let me do that. Let me do that. I took Fen Fen after Keith, and I took it for like 11 months, and then John was like, give me the pill bottle. I'm like, I go, I don't have to sleep. He's like, give that to me. I'm like, no, bitch, no. And he's like, give me that. I'm like, no. I went down the street to Dr. Lee. He's probably dead. And he was so high. He took his own medicine that he just let me, him and the office girl, we would write our own prescription. I was that person for a split second. Yeah. No, yeah, Fen Fen is a weight loss pill. We call it meth for life. It's just meth. I slept. Oh my God. Because it's after I stopped breastfeeding Keith, and I was like, yeah, I'm never giving this up. I see why people do meth. You don't have to sleep. You can get all your stuff, Adderall. You can get it all done. You can get it all done. But I would just be, my favorite thing on Fen Fen was, okay, the Burbank Fire Department used to run where I run. And it would be like noon because they'd wear all their gear in the heat. Obviously, they're firemen, right? Yeah, no, Fen Fen sounds like fentanyl, but it's like meth. It's a stimulant. It's not good. My brain went a bit crazy. I became paranoid and it gave me a lot of anxiety. I did have to quit it, but I got everything done. Like when you're a new mom, you can't get this shit done. So I totally understand women why they take it. That's also why they're cocaine addicts. But I used to go running with the fire department in Burbank. So I would start off, they would take off, and I'd run past them. My heart would beat. Like, I'm lucky I didn't have a fucking heart attack in 105-degree weather running up a hill. In little booty shorts past the firemen. Doing shit like that. No, my heart, I have a leaky heart valve from it. So they said, I mean, they're like, you have a leaky heart valve. I'm like, that's wonderful. I don't care. And I never took the downer part. Fen was like speedballing. They gave you Pondamin and phentermine, which is speed and a downer. So, and I'm like, I threw the downers out. I'm like, nobody need to be going down. That's what I did. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, he did try to get them out of my hand. I'm like, nope, not gonna give it. You fucking get away from me. And chased me around the house. I'm like, he finally got him. It was 11 months I took it. Yeah. I lost 50 pounds in a month, which, let me just tell you that. This is the problem with that stomach pill. Take it easy. I loved it. I'm not going to lie. I don't know that I would like meth. I never did meth, but I mean, Adderall is basically meth. These are things, but here's what I learned from that. Even when you're 30 and you lose 50 pounds, I took Klonopin too. I told you. I was on Adderall and Klonopin and seizures. Sorry for laughing. Oh my God, Klonopin is, I got myself off of Klonopin. That was for the anxiety after Jimmy died. Klonopin's a very dangerous drug. Sorry for laughing. The way you said that. I go up and then I go into a coma, a speedball, and then I had a seizure. You think? Those are two opposite ends. Sorry. I just don't understand. Yes, Klonopin. I couldn't get out of bed. My kids, I mean, I just went up and down. I had to get myself off of that. But I will tell you, as much as you want to lose weight, like the people on Ozempic, and you want to lose it quick, your skin will sag. And then you were a fat person who has sagging skin everywhere. Because that's when my ass fell at 30. I noticed it went down and I was like, what happened? And John's like, you can't just drop 50 pounds in a month. Yes, I can. So that's what I did. But anyway, yeah, no, I ran in the heat and my heart would beat and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to die from this. And I would keep doing it. Your brain doesn't think right. So yeah, I'm on it and my skin is sagging on my face. Yeah, no, I'm saying my ass sagged. I dropped so much weight. So like the top of my thighs and you can't, elasticity is elasticity. I think you're really honestly, like when I first lost weight, I lost like 90 pounds with Jason after I had him. It took me 3 years. I mean, I got to like 145 right away, maybe a year after with the breastfeeding, but the last 15 pounds, it took me like 3 years to lose. I think you have to do it kind of slowly to keep your skin intact. I don't think you can just drop it quick. I think you have to like learn to eat right. There's no quick way. So I'm lucky I didn't have a stroke. You're fucking right, I am. Yeah, I was like, no, it was crazy. It was once the skin, I know, it was crazy. I got everything done. I'd be running up the street. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do this, and I'm like that anyway. So it was even more fun to be like that. Yeah, I did them as a teenager. Yeah, hit me and whoa, I was feeling. Yeah, I'm used to it now. I still am out there. Did you work out? Yes, I did. Jason, they told me to stay in bed because I started to bleed at like month 4. But after a week, I told the baby in my stomach, which was chirp chirp, I said, you got to stay in because I can't stay in bed. Like I just, for no reason can I stay in bed. I'm too selfish, and that's what I did. So I walked, and with Keith, I walked about 12 miles a day. I had 2 jobs. I did drink coffee, not a lot, but sometimes I had to have coffee, which explains his hyperness. I know you're not supposed to drink. I didn't drink like espressos. I had like a couple of sips of coffee. But yeah, I was doing 2 different jobs with Keith. I was doing readings, working on TV and doing that. Yeah, Jason was real good. I told Jason, you're gonna come out or you're not, but please, I have to do that. I think walking is great. I mean, with Keith, I rode horses. I did sting operations with Vice at 8 months pregnant. John was like, where are you going at 2 in the morning? I was a liaison for a prostitute testifying against a pimp. So Vice picked me up and I had to be with her. I was a what they call a liaison for a girl testifying. So I had to walk her through the airport so her pimp didn't kill her. And I was 8 months pregnant with 2 undercover police as a representative at the time. And she was getting on a plane to go to Texas to to testify in court against her pimp. So I did do that pregnant. Like Keith and I had a lot of adventures, like a lot. Jason and I ate a lot. Yes, when I was working at Children of the Night, John can tell you the stories. Like I'm not making them up. He's like, "Are you cheating on me?" I'm like, "Not at 2 o'clock in the morning and 8 months pregnant." I can't even get my fucking shoes on. So yeah, Keith, I did a lot of work. So I taught aerobics classes. I did walk. I did go horseback riding. I was just trying to get him out at that point. I wasn't going to fall. I rode horses my whole life. But yeah, sugar, you cut out sugar. Yeah, I did a lot with Keith. Jason was more like, I was more tentative with him. Ate a lot of pizza and a lot of cheese. Not good. Gained a lot of weight. Jason was really kind of a fun nesting time. And Keith was like, this is a surprise baby, even though I know I was going to have him, but this is a surprise and I'm busy building a career and stuff. So I never stopped with Keith. And Keith never stopped either. Intermittent fasting yes, intermittent fasting is really good. I do that now. I also eat mangoes. So I do that. Sugar, yeah, I love sugar. I eat mangoes instead of sugar. So I eat organic mangoes. That's what I do. Yeah, Jason and Keith both loved pizza. I would go and get Keith Panda Express before John and I would go out on the weekend. So I would go up the street and pick up Panda Express for Keithy and then bring pizza home for Jason. But it was mostly Keith. Like Jason didn't, like I would make sure Keith had something to eat. Jason was always off somewhere. So like he wasn't going to come home at that time when he was a bit older. And then I would bring them. Yeah, I eat cherries. I love cherries too. So I would do that. Anyway, yeah, I would always get Keith his dinner, or bring him home like spaghetti. He loves spaghetti. Um, all of that. My son's favorite food. Yeah. Let's see. What did I crave with Keithy? I really tried to watch what I ate, but I still gained like 90 pounds. Like it just hit me. Um, I'm trying to think. Both boys like pizza though. Panda aren't real, but I like. Yeah, it's not. No kidding. Yeah, peaches are good too. Spaghetti's good. Pickles, I never ate those. I'm pretty much I with Keith I ate yogurt every day, frozen yogurt. So we would go get frozen yogurt. That was my favorite thing. And I ate Keith I ate steamed vegetables and baked potatoes. And Keith, even though he hated salmon, he would go, "Oh, salmon." Like that. Broccoli. And then Daniela's kid, Tanner would come up the street. The kid that said, "Hey, lady, do you got a kid?" And I said, "Yeah." He was like 3.5. That kid, his mom loved the junk food. So my kids would go down there and eat, and he would come eat the salmon. So Tanner still remembers it. He's like, "I just love the way you cooked." And then the two kids across the street thought I was a shitty cook because their mother would never come home. She would call me and say, "I'm not coming home." The kids would be outside. She goes, "Can you feed them something?" So at that time of night, we'd already eaten dinner. So I would make them macaroni and cheese. And that kid said to my kid, "Did your mom only cook macaroni and cheese?" Yes, bitch, because I was already finished with dinner. I'm not cooking up a bunch of salmon and steak for you at 10 o'clock at night. Anyway, yeah, it was pretty funny. So they're all kinds of different. So Keith grew up eating vegetables and salad and salmon and chicken and all the stuff like real healthy. And Jason ate like the steak and potatoes, but he also ate a little, in between, like normal. Um, yeah, it's a lot of kids. No, I had neighbor kids coming over and stuff, corn in it. I didn't do that. I did whatever was quick at that time because there was like those 4 kids across the street. And I'm like, "Where's your fucking mom?" Um, yeah, I don't eat a lot of meat, but I do eat salmon. I just had salmon at lunch today. I go to Andrew's parents' restaurant and eat salmon, which is really yummy. And then they do steamed vegetables and grilled vegetables with a salad. So, and Meadow gets soup, so it's really good. All right, you guys, I gotta go. Yes, ice cream makes everybody fat. I've been on here too long. How long have I been on here? Like 2 hours yakking? Okay, so you guys, okay. I'm cooking for my son right now. Yeah, don't drink, don't smoke. Good for you. Yeah, you don't have to have kids to be creative, by the way. You're here as one of God's, and you can really do a lot of good in the world. And it's not good as defined by what's on TV and what they tell you. That has, I've got to get back to TikTok. I don't like that they steal all my content, so I've kind of lost interest. I grill salmon. I have it grilled with nothing on it. I mean, I'll put salt and pepper on it, and I'll put lemon on it, and that's it. That's all I'm putting on it. I don't like sauces on my food because I can't see it, and I have poisoning phobias, probably from the fen-phen. No, I had them as a kid too. But anyway, for people asking about readings, please check back this week because Paul is going to put them up. And please don't yell at me if I haven't gotten back to you. I'm trying. I'm really trying to be an adult and follow through. All right, you guys, have a good night. I will be in court tomorrow. I might not be back on the weekend. I've got to do a race, so I'll be doing that. And then I'm back to work on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, whatever. Check the website because I am opening the books. And the books will be open, I don't think in October. I think it's going to have to be November. I have to get the warehouse open, and I'm already booked for September. So I think it's going to be November. Dexatrim. Ate that like candy. Okay, see what they do to us? They're like, "You're fat." And then we all go take pills. You're not fat. You're fine. Just be healthy. Even if that's not the normal weight, just be healthy. That's it. Thank you guys so much for listening to my nonsense. I have the Hulk Hogan video on Patreon. I've got to film more videos. I got to think of people. I'm going to read through your ideas. And I got to get a feel for somebody. Okay, bye, you guys. Mwah. I love every one of you. You guys are awesome. If I don't tell you that enough, I've gotten all your treats and all your gifts and all your beautiful paintings, your coffee cards, pictures of your children. I especially love the pictures of your cats and your dogs. I love them. I keep them all. I keep all the pictures of your families, your cats, your dogs, your letters. I have big boxes. This is one day so Meadow and Rascal can go through them. I mean, I don't think Jason's going to read them, but he might read one or two. Anyway, bye, you guys. Have a good night. I'll tell you all when the warehouse is open. That's it. I'm going to tell you. I will be cleaning more paint off the floor. And if they don't use a tarp, I will be in jail. Bye, you guys.